Hello, everyone. I am Chris O'Neill from Ninth Level Games, and we are doing a Ninth Level Game Spotlight on live action role play. Why don't we go around and quick introduce ourselves, and then we'll get into what we're doing today. Let's start with Renee.
Hello, everybody. I'm Renee Ritchie, she, they pronouns. You probably know me as Hedgie Cleric here on Twitch, where I usually stream with various game creators with interviews and crafting, because why not? Everybody talks better when it's a stitch and bitch, right? And yes, Chris, you are absolutely invited. Let's talk.
Absolutely, anytime. Michael.
Well, hi everybody. I'm Michael Powell, also known as Mr. Kapow here on the interwebs, and pronouns he, they, and I do tabletop stuff on Twitch, like on Nat20 Productions, or my YouTube channel, Fantastic Tales of Adventure.
Timmy.
I'm Tim, formerly of Games on Tape, now known as the Squid and Squid Christ on the Twitters. Haven't really been present online during the dark times, so I've got nothing to promote, but I play games, so that's fun.
Tim went out into the woods. We just found him again.
Yeah. They finally pulled on the string, and I went, oh, my people need me.
And I am Chris O'Neill from Ninth Level. Pronouns are he. I am the creative officer for Ninth Level Games, and I'm the creator of the polymorph system. And what we're going to play tonight is Mazes, which is our flagship fantasy game. Mazes is coming. We just released the PDF of the new version to Kickstarter backers last week. The book is at the printers, and it'll be hitting stores in March. And we're gonna have a really good time. We're gonna play a complete game. We're looking at a full piece here. We're gonna start with character creation. We're gonna describe the game as we play. I think we're gonna have a great time. So, are you all ready for the murderous orb of Dead Volthoom?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So the first thing we have to decide is what role is everyone gonna play, right? So in polymorph games, your role, R-O-L-E, determines what you roll, R-O-L-L. So you can either be the Paragon, who rolls the D4, and the Paragon, how we ask the question is what do you want to do in the game? If what you want to do is seek knowledge and glory, you want to be the Paragon, you want to be the D4. If you want to stay in the heat of the action, you want to be the Vanguard, and you're going to roll the D6. If you are here to fight and you want to hit it with your sword, you want to roll the D8. You are the fighter. And if you're here to keep everybody safe, you're going to roll the D10. You are the sentinel. So, would you like to be the seeker of knowledge? Would you like to be at the heart of the action? Do you want to hit it with your sword? Everyone can hit it with a sword. Just saying that the reason that you're here is you want to hit it with a sword. Or do you want to keep everybody safe? And that's going to determine if you're the D4, the D6, the D8, or the D10.
I think I want to be at the heart of the action.
All right, the D6. So you're going to need, all you're going to need is a D6 to play the game. If you have two D6, sometimes you will have the option to roll with advantage, or sometimes you'll be asked to roll with disadvantage. So having two makes it easy.
Fantastic. I have my handy dandy D6s I got from Midwinter Gaming Convention, so I'll use those.
All right. So Renee's going to be the Vanguard.
You know what? I think if Tim here doesn't mind, I would like to be the fighter.
You'd like to be the fighter? Two D8s, and you're good to go. Timmy, what do you want to be? You want to be the Paragon, or you want to be the Sentinel?
Seeing as how everybody's going in fighting now, I might as well protect them. I'll be the Sentinel.
All right, so you're the D10. All right, so we have a D10, a D8, and a D6. Now, the next big question is that you have to ask yourself, how do you solve your problems, right? Do you solve your problems with the edge of your sword? Do you solve your problems from the embrace of the shadows? Or do you solve problems with your Eldritch sorcery? Sword, shadows, and sorcery. It's the next decision to make. All right. Tim, you are a sentinel, a shadow sentinel.
All right.
You know what? Let's go with sword for me.
Sword fighter.
That makes sense.
Classic combo.
Step closer. I want to hit them with my wand and Eldritch Sorcery.
All right. So you're going to be the Sorcery Vanguard. All right. Now the question is what class are you going to play? So for sorcery, you could be the Blazing Magician, the Guild Mage, the Haunted Librarian, the Infernal Summoner, the Last Elf, the Quack Alchemist, the Underground Druid, or the Wise Witch.
So many hard decisions. No,
Yeah.
really, for the people who know me. No, really, Wise Witch. Not even a question.
Not even a question. All right, the Wise Witch. All right. As the Wise Witch. Now, every Maze's character is made up of a couple of things called edges. So the first edge that you have is your class. So you are the Wise Witch. The next piece is we're going to determine some edges. So as the Wise Witch, you always know magic. So that's your first edge. Your first edge is magic. And we'll come back to that in a second because we'll figure out what color it is. But as a soothsayer, are you lore wise or nature wise? So do you have information about the secrets of the world, or do you understand the natural side of things?
I drink and I know things. Let's go with lore.
All right, lore wise. I like it. So you're going to write down magic. You're going to write lore wise. And then your final choice is what's your best attribute? Are you cunning? Are you learned? Or do you have a familiar?
Let's go with cunning, because I can't guarantee that my cat will be in the shot at any given time.
Sounds good. All right. So we'll come back to magic when we get done here. But so right now your edges are magic, lore wise, and cunning.
Sounds good.
Michael, the classic sword fighter. Are you the Dangerous Bravo, the Jaded Sellsword, the Knockabout Ranger, the Monster Slayer, the Outcast Bugbear, the Reluctant Hero, the Savage Barbarian, or the Valiant Dragoon?
Let's go with the Sellsword.
The Jaded Sellsword. The Jaded Sellsword is always well armed. So your first edge is called well armed. So you have all kinds of weapons, so you can change it up in battle. You can spend a star to be like, oh, hey, I'm going to switch over to my sword so that I can be faster, or, it's going to give you advantage most of the times when you're fighting things. As a mercenary soldier, do you have rank or are you wealthy?
Let's go with rank.
All right. So you have a rank. You can figure out what kind of a rank, are you a captain or lieutenant or a colonel or whatever? A baron doesn't. Are you lucky, veteran, or do you have sworn swords? So the question here is, are you naturally lucky? Is that why you've been able to survive all these years as a sellsword? Are you veteran because you've been around the block a bunch of times, so that you actually have extra levels of you can take more conditions, you can take more hits? Or do you have a bunch of retainers? Do you have some hired swords that are loyal to you?
Ooh, I like both. Both luck and veterans both sound something right up my alley, but since I have to choose one, you know what? I've been watching a lot of Blackadder, so let's go with luck.
What's Blackadder's? What's his manservant's name?
Roderick.
Roderick. All right. Tim.
Hey.
You are a sentinel. You're a defender, but from the shadows. Are you the adventurous small folk? Are you the accursed tomb robber? Are you the excellent vagabond? Are you the filthy urchin? Are you the Nighthawk assassin? Are you the puzzling locksmith? The talented thief? Or the zealous cultist?
Excellent vagabond.
The excellent vagabond. As the excellent vagabond, you are always traveled. So you've been around, you've been places, you've seen everything. As a wandering jack, are you charming or cunning?
Cunning.
Are you fast, lucky, or do you have friends?
Oh, I don't have friends. Fast.
Fast is good. All right, so the only other question we had to answer is what kind of magic Renee has. So there in the world of mazes, there are 5 domains of magic. There are sea, sky, earth, forge, and night. So what kind of magic do you do?
So is that night with a K or night with an N?
Night with an N.
Well, that makes that easy. Night
magic, which is kind of the traditional. So you have powers over the shadows, starlight, looking into the future. You're good with doing things with the undead, ghosts, and all right. Now, in mazes, you have 2 primary additional stats, right? You have one thing that's called hearts and one thing that's called stars. So, Renee, as the Vanguard, you have 6 hearts and 3 stars. Hearts represent your hit points. So when you take damage, you're going to lose hearts. If you lose all your hearts, if your hearts go to 0, you have to roll against death's door unless someone can help you, at which time we would roll on the healing chart. You also have 3 stars. Stars represent your power in the game. So for you, you can spend stars to use your night magic to cast spells, to do things. This is very narrative, so you have a lot of control when you spend a star. Whenever you spend a star, you never have to roll for it, because anytime you're spending a resource, you don't have to roll for it.
I like that.
Michael, as a fighter, you have 8 hearts, but only 2 stars. It's good that you have a lot of hearts, because in this game, anytime you take a violent action, you have to spend a heart. So every time you take an attack, you're going to lose a heart. You can also lose hearts from fighting.
Pretty sure I'm going to be using a lot of hearts.
It seems good. But you can get your hearts and your stars back by taking a moment. So on your turn, instead of doing anything else, you can just take a rest. And when you do that, you get to add a condition to your character. And conditions, you can become stressed or tired or hurt. And these conditions allow you to refill all of your hearts and stars. Then they have a knock-on effect in the game. We'll play them out as they come up. Okay. As the Sentinel, Tim, you have 10 hearts, but you only have 1 star. Every class uses stars a little bit differently, every aspect. So we have 3 different aspects. They're all doing different things. Sorcery, you spend the stars to do magical effects. Sword, you spend your stars to produce, feats of martial brilliance. So, you want to run into a room and attack everyone. You want to do a spin move and hit everybody. That would be spending a star. You want to, jump off the roof and not die. Spend a star. And from the shadows, that's you get to use it to like power whatever it is that is your nefarious deeds. As as a vagabond, you spend that star to be like, oh, I know that guy. We go way back. It's my personal favorite version of that play. So, any questions to that point? Everyone starts the game with what's called 2 wealth, and you can spend 2 wealth to add a treasure to the game. Except for Michael, because you have rank, you actually start with additional wealth. So you have 2 wealth plus an extra. So we'll come back to that, but we're going to figure out how much treasure the party starts with, because in this game you don't have any equipment. When you would want to do something that would be equipment based, you spend one of your treasures. You're also going to gain treasure from within the adventure. So we're going to go into this module, the murderous orb of dead Volthoom, and you're going to get treasure and you're going to add it to it, and you're going to spend treasure to do kind of cool stuff. At the same time, there's also another, so For the people at home, I use these like lovely shiny gems to track treasure. Excuse me. So I'll track the treasure for everybody here. And then I use these coins to track what we call darkness. These coins we had minted at campaign coins. They're coming out. So people that backed it on the Kickstarter will get them. I like that they're just green enough that they disappear into the blur. A little bit of copper. They have a nice, satisfying feel to them. So darkness is basically my resource, right? Because as the GM in this game, or MC, the maze controller, I will never roll dice, right? This is a completely player-focused game. Only you ever roll dice. I never roll dice. I don't roll to see if the orc hits you. I say you are attacked by the swamp orc. What do you do, right? And you're going to roll to respond to that. There's 3 kinds of rolls in the game. You can have an action roll, which is when on your turn you tell me you want to do something, and I say roll this piece. And that uses your turn up. You can have a save roll, which is when it's my turn, I tell you something that happens and you're going to respond to it, and that save doesn't use up your turn because it can happen multiple times because it's on my turn. And the last is called an effect roll. Sometimes you're going to roll and just see what the number is. Whenever you're rolling effect, if you roll the top number on your die, which is called a crown, it explodes. You get to roll the die again. The big thing is when you believe that your character could do something, or you have an edge that means that you should be able to do it better, you can ask if you can roll with advantage. So Renee's Wise Witch is cunning, right? So if you're working with you're working a lock or something and you're like, hey, but I'm very cunning, I would understand this. Can I roll that with advantage? I didn't think about this, which is that I know that I gave Ryan and the people at home looking at us can see it on the screen in front of them, but you, the players, can't because of the weirdness of the interwebs. Basically, how you're going to roll things in this game is called the resolver, right? It's a very simple chart. So when you want to do something that has to do with your brains, right? Anything that has to do with reading, etc., it's called books, and you're trying to roll a 2 or a 3. Anytime you're trying to roll something that's physical, you're going to roll a piece called boots, and that's a 3, a 4, or a 5. And you don't have to worry about this because I have it all up in front of me. When you're trying to fight something, you're going to roll blades, which is 4, 5, 6, or 7. And if you're trying to be strong, or to withstand something, it's bones, and that's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. The other things that can happen is you could roll a 1, which is called a key. Anytime you roll a 1, if it's something your character could do, it just succeeds. The other thing is called a crown, which is the highest number on the die. And if you roll the crown, depending on what the current darkness is, it may or may not work, and we'll base on that. So any questions? I realize I just threw a whole bunch of information at you, but the interesting thing is we've pretty much given you all of the game. All of the rules of the game.
Seems mostly straightforward to me. I suspect more questions will come up as we go through gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So before we come up with names and we make sure we know everything, the last thing we have to do is I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that are going to lead us to what's called the door to adventure. Because in mazes, we never start, we don't go shopping, we don't start in the town. We literally start as close to the action as we can get, which is going to be kicking in the door of the dungeon that we're going to. Okay. But in this situation, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then those questions are going to determine the starting darkness. And then we're going to ask some questions about treasure, and that might change the darkness, and that will start the starting treasure and darkness totals. So in your possession, you 3 adventurers, you have a box. It is a cherry wood box. It's been highly intricately, it's about maybe a foot by a foot by a foot. and inside the box there is it's lined with plush velvet, and sitting in the plush velvet is a crystal ball that's about 6 inches in diameter. It's filled with a milky white haze that's moving all about. It's just glowing just slightly enough, like when you open it, you get that Marcellus Wallace soul look. Like your face lights up in a little. And intermittently, there's like a dusky pinkish haze in the center. And it seems to go in and out. Oh, meow, meow, meow.
Oh, he's so loud. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, I'm going to make the obvious joke here, and I ponder the orb.
Yeah. This
is absolutely because of orb pondering. I was really happy. I was recently at Disney World, and I happened to be there on Wookiee Life Day, so I was able to get a Wookiee Life orb to ponder.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
So this orb, here are the questions. Magister Bargle is a powerful wizard. He hired you to return this cursed object back to its resting place. Also, the money is good. Or Bargle the Black is a necromancer and a vile criminal. You took this job to get your hands on this accursed relic, which you plan to destroy. Also, the money is good. Bargle is a doofus. That idiot thinks you're going to put something valuable back. I wonder what else is in that hole that we can sell. Oh, and the money is good. Which of those three is a true statement?
I like 1 and 3. Those are my 2 votes there.
Yeah,
I'm partial to 3. I kind of like the idea of,
yeah,
we'll totally
he's a
do that.
doofus. I like
We're
it.
totally going to handle this with care and poise. We'll put it right back where it's supposed to go. It's going to just be perfect.
So you all agree on 3?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
For 3, I'm going to start with 3 darkness.
So long as the money's good.
So long as the money is good.
the money is good, and I can totally put this in my make
Back where
sure
it came from.
this does not fall into the wrong hands. No,
Yes,
really.
the wizard Bargle has brought you in, has given you the instructions, explained, that this is a very fragile, but yet, highly toxic magical item that he acquired from an adventurer named Rose and Lux. Their names were Rose and Lux, that had gone to the dread tomb of Volthoom, an ancient elven warrior witch. And it needs to go back or bad things are going to happen. But you guys are sure that he is just a doofus, and that it would be great to just go and raid this tomb and make a bunch of money.
Warrior witch, sign me up.
Bad things happen when you don't return the orb.
I am a sellsword.
Let's figure out how much money you have invested into the expedition. So you each start with 2 wealth, except for Michael. You start with 4.
Oh.
You can spend 2 wealth to create 1 treasure, or 1 wealth and 1 darkness. You're already starting with 3 darkness. When things get to 7 darkness, bad things happen. Just to let you know.
And we'll probably be spending also our wealth points during the game, or this is the only phase.
It's just at the beginning, and then at the end there's like a thing.
Okay.
So the idea is you could start with 3 treasure, or 4 treasure in this case because of rank, and take no additional darkness, and that puts you in a pretty good position.
Okay. I'm going to spend all my wealth to generate those treasures for no additional darkness. Make it rain. Make it rain. Or if it's coins, make it hail. Make it hail. Make it hail.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh God! This guy's just throwing nickels at me. Jesus, this is the worst strip
Just
club
like
I've
a
ever
cup,
been
like a
at.
cup of quarters.
This last
so
time
4,
I
are we gonna do?
me to a strip club.
we're gonna do four treasure to start the game. Everybody's
Yeah.
good.
That's just a good investment, especially knowing
investment.
this group is going to get real dark real quick.
I feel
So
like
you're starting with 3 darkness. 3 darkness, which is good. It leaves us in what's called bright. So anytime you roll a crown, you do succeed. If you were to roll against death's door, you would roll against it with advantage. And anytime you spend a treasure, it affects everyone in the party. So it's still in a good place.
oh, we're gonna mess that up real fast.
I'm gonna just sit here and ponder my orb.
That's
Pondering, just walking around pondering it. Recently,
Well, not all the time. I mean, you'll go blind that way.
there was a setup at MagFest that had an orb, and it just said, "Please do not ponder this orb." And then every time anyone stopped there, they would record another number, and it just said the number of times this orb has been pondered. It was really good. I was really into it. And then later they just walked away and they just put this orb has been pondered n+1 times. Which I thought was actually very good as well.
Great to know that MagFest actually was able to come up with something funny for once. They've been trying.
Right, so I want to give you guys a second to think about it. You have now set up that you are a money grubbing set of down and dirty pulp adventurers. We have a wise witch, a jaded sellsword, and an excellent vagabond. You all need to introduce yourselves, and then as part of that process, why don't we also explain how you know each other? You guys have already been together. You're an existing thing, and we're going to go right from those descriptions to walking down the stairs. So, who would like to start?
I'll go ahead and start this off. I am Estrella the Night Witch. Fairly interested in the lore around Volthoom because, well, warrior witch, hello there, role model. I'm a little bit of a fangirl, not gonna lie. And the opportunity to visit this tomb, like, heck yeah. And I get this sweet orb to ponder the whole way. It's great.
Estrella the Night Witch, fan of Volthoom.
I guess I'll go next. I'm thankful that I actually created a couple names before the stream. So I am Colonel Moloon Drongo, officially former colonel of some army somewhere, who has become a sellsword to basically, you know what, go into the private sector.
Colonel, I'm just gonna call you the Colonel. You just
Moloon Drongo. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'll put it in our Zoom chat here.
Drongo.
Zdrongo.
I would never. I would have gotten that spelled wrong. There's some Z's and there's some
Gazoon-tight.
Yes, Zdrongo.
Drongo.
All right, Colonel.
He has mutton chops for days.
I love it.
Now, is that from the Willowdales, the Throngos?
No, it's from the Abbey of Throngos.
Oh boy.
So we have Estrella the Night Witch and Colonel Zthrongo. Tim.
I'm Susan. It's a family name. My friends call me Billy.
Okay, Susan.
Thank you. Formal greetings only.
You son of a bitch.
Thank you.
All right. You are the three of you. So think of it this way. You have all of the things that you would normally have if we were playing and you had written it all down. All those things exist. If you need any equipment or anything like that, you have treasure to spend. You don't have to ask the other players to spend the treasure. You can just spend it. Just tell me that you're spending it. I will tell you when you gain darkness, there's a couple of different things that can cause darkness. So one of them is the setup of treasure in the beginning, just as we just went through. One is whenever you encounter a hazard. So whenever some new thing pops up in the adventure, it generates one darkness. It generates a darkness if you split the party. It generates a darkness if there's an obvious danger and you ignore it. It generates a darkness if you just let time pass. So if you're just like, oh, we'll just wait till morning, you can, but I get a darkness. And of course, my personal favorite, which is I get a darkness whenever you enter the darkness. So I'm going to take a darkness as you step into the darkness and you begin to go down the stairs at the tomb of Volthoom, an ancient warrior witch who stirs in the deep dank. You are on stairs down. It is dark. It is dark below you.
Sorry. Let's calm down.
Um,
Calm down. This is important.
if the party doesn't mind, the colonel will take point on this one, because I'm guessing also the colonel is probably the most heavily armored.
Yeah, and you are well armed, so you're bristling with weapons.
Yeah.
like
Your arms are excellent.
Mhm.
Just
You know what? I'm gonna
bam.
say
It's the gun show.
Yeah, he has bare arms, and on his arm it actually says has a flaming 9 on it.
wait.
Marketing.
Oh, kiss up. Are they actual bear arms though?
Yeah, his arms is covered, like he has these furry
Fur
sleeves.
Paws.
Yeah, bear paws
Nice.
and everything.
He's always holding bear claw pastries.
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
Yeah. So because you are well armed, this is important for you, Michael. You can spend a star to change what you're doing at any time. So if you are wielding a two-handed weapon, you would gain advantage to damage.
Mhm.
A one-handed weapon and shield, or like a dirk, you would gain advantage in defense. If you have a single blade or a paired weapon, you gain advantage on attack rolls, or you'd be like, oh, I have a throwing knife, whatever it is. Like different things. You can spend your stars to be like, oh, hey, I'm going to change things up so that I can affect the way the flow of combat works.
You know what? For simplicity's sake, and also considering we don't know what we're going to be facing, let's go with defense. So he's going with a sword and board at the moment.
Sword and board down, mutton chops aglow.
Yep. And bare arms bristling.
Bare arms are bristled.
I'm glad you're using that beard cream I gave you.
Mhm.
The,
I thought it was beard cream.
oh.
Yes.
Cream
Don't
made
make
from
me take
bears.
a darkness. Don't make me take a darkness just because I'm pissed at you, Tim.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
The
Well-conditioned fur.
Mhm. All
What
right,
do you
let's
do
get
with your
this
light?
over with.
what are you doing for light? It's very dark.
Oh, one of us produces a torch.
that's fine. I would assume as an excellent vagabond, you're always ready.
Just always carrying. I have a lighter. Just guys, come on.
A Zippo.
Come on,
Yeah, I
dudes.
pull out straight up metal and flint and go school them.
Yeah. So you're holding a torch. The shadows you see at the base of the stairs. There is a small landing, and instead of it being like a 5 foot by 5 foot landing, it's only half that, because there is the sidewalls. The sidewalls on a 45-degree angle, and there is a large iron shod wooden door with a bar across it, but the bar is on your side.
Oh, so it's keeping something in, not out.
Billy, perhaps before we kick in this door, perhaps you should check it in case of stuff.
Would you like to check it out?
I'll inspect the door, sure.
Give me a boots roll, or give me a books roll. So you want to roll a 2 or a 3.
I did not. It's a 5.
It's 5. But what were your edges? So
I was excellent, cunning, fast.
and travel.
And travel, yes.
Right.
So yeah, I mean,
I'll give you a cunning look. You're giving. I'll give you advantage on that roll.
advantage. All right. Yep, still my 6. These dice are banned.
Looks like a door. Looks like a door. Looks.
So, guys, it's wooden.
It is definitely. Your earlier summation appears correct. It is barred to keep something in, not barred to keep you out.
Okay.
So so Estrella is lore wise and cunning and has magic and is a Volthoom fangirl.
Yes.
Can I go ahead and roll books for that one?
Yeah, why don't you give me a books roll about being with advantage because you are a Volthoom fangirl?
That was a 2.
So if you succeed on either roll when you have advantage, it succeeds. If you succeed on both rolls, it's considered a critical.
Just one.
The opposite is also true. If you're rolling with disadvantage and you fail on both of them, then it's a critical fumble.
Ooh. Yeah. So just one.
So you do remember in the stories of the Elf Lord Volthoom that he was imprisoned at the end of his reign because he was such a murderous bastard. Which seems weird. It's like after he died, they put him in prison.
It could be like a night gone. I've seen some of those, I think.
Well, he was also a fairly powerful magician in his day. He could have easily put some contingencies in to literally rise up from the dead afterwards.
Are we sure he was a magician and he didn't just have a magician around him that was doing Weekend at Bernie's level stuff?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I am anyway. I'm very researched.
I just don't want to open this door and it be an actual living human. I kind of want it to be something dead. So
it would be an elf. First of all, here, let me show you my official licensed Volthoom waifu pillow.
So in this in my universe, because this isn't necessarily true in everyone's game, but in my games, the things that we're doing right now, the elves are like from a long time ago, and there's ills, which are like the one last elf. Like there's like always like a guy that just like comes out of the woods and it's like, yo, I'm an elf. People are like, all right, whatever, buddy. But the elves were like bad dudes. They fought amongst themselves and they nearly destroyed everything. So a little bit of Elric, a little bit of the Dark Crystal,
which should make you very, very concerned about why Estrella has a waifu pillow of this guy.
Correct, right? Yeah, but I mean, you start out as I'm a night witch. People are like, I get it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Darkness.
I'm pretty sure.
No parents.
Show me your cutie mark.
The colonel looks over at the Estrella and goes, but we're pretty sure his current status of living is dead at the moment, right? At the moment.
Right. So is this Schrodinger's king?
Give me a books roll, Estrella. With advantage because of lore wise.
That is a regular old success.
Yeah, I mean, Volthoom lived like 1,000 years ago. So even if he was an elf, he wouldn't have like literally lived that long. So he's definitely like dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
All right.
And I would think that any sort of resurrection spell that he would have put up probably would have expired by now, maybe?
Hopefully. Well,
isn't the shelf life like 1,000 years exactly? Like we're cutting it close on that one. He's casted in 2022. It's 3022. Like what day did he cast it? Are we there?
Right. It comes down to the calendar. Like, which calendar are we checking this on? Like we're like plus or minus a couple of 10 days here.
And we're sure he didn't buy into the extended warranty on this, right?
Yeah.
There was Gleep year and Gloop year.
All right.
Gloop year.
Anyway, let us press forward. I'm gonna have the colonel. He just sheaths the sword, carefully lifts up that bar. Does the door swing in or out? Can we tell that?
The door has to swing.
This has to swing out.
It has to swing out, or the bar wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Sorry. Of course. So the colonel's gonna lift up the bar.
You lift up the bar, and you see that there's like a place to like hang the bar next to it.
He places it there.
As you place it in that piece, give me a boots roll. What are your edges?
I see here. Will, arm, rank, and luck.
Okay, so you're lucky. So give it to me with advantage. So as you put it down, you feel the floor drop underneath of you.
Oh snap!
All right, I got a 2 and a 5.
A 5's a hit. A 5's a hit on the boots roll. You luckily you just happen to be standing like on the side, like close enough to the door, like you like pushed it over here, you didn't move. So when the floor drops out, you're like standing on your toes, like hovering over this spiked pit, and there's just like metal spikes at the bottom of this 10-foot drop. I'm assuming you have like really nice boots, right? Like
yeah.
So so it's just like the heels, like your tippy toes are like pointed, and you're just like hanging there in front of this door that swings towards you, by the way.
Pull him back, someone pull me back.
I'll pull him back.
Give me a bones roll.
Please tell us it's Bones Day.
5.
Five's a hit.
Yep.
So you grab them and you pull them back. So now you're all standing, and if you think about it, like if you're looking at it, there's a triangular hole on the ground in front of this door. But now that you are aware of it, you could walk around it, but the door's going to swing over this open pit.
Well, that
what are the odds
certainly
it can fly?
close.
I guess I'll produce a second torch and chuck it in there, see if it can illuminate the room.
Down the pit?
No, across into the. You said the door was open, right?
No, the door would open over the pit.
Oh, it would open. Okay, it hasn't opened yet.
Yeah, so like if you were on the stairs, like you're all standing on the stairs now at this point, right? Like from the stairs, you're looking down. It would be a 5-foot by 5-foot room, but it's bisected by the wall at a 45 degree. And now there's no floor. So there's like a half a foot of stone, and then the rest of it's just like this empty pit going 10 feet down to glittering spikes that are shining off of your torchlight.
Okay, an elven welcome mat.
Something tells me that
you are pretty confident, Estrella, that this is a prison, right? Like, so this is the way out, not the way in.
Well,
I mean, it's also the way in, but you know,
it still counts.
What's the opposite of this? Is the
it's an elven welcome mat.
It's a reverse dungeon.
It's a reverse dungeon. It's a GTFO mat.
It's that thing you step in a clean room that's sticky, so it gets all the dirt off of your feet.
Yes, that is actually a very accurate analogy. It's the tacky pad on the outside of a clean room.
Anyone have any flex tape or anything?
Well, you guys have, remember, you do have 4 treasure, so that represents all of your gear. So it could be anything that you
would the bar that came off of the door be enough to cross the chasm to the next portion of steps, or is it too much of a distance to make a plank walkway?
No, yeah, it's only a few feet. Like you actually think you could probably step over the hole.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
If you think it's like a 5x5 space, so it's only like
Oh, I'm picturing like
by 3 feet.
Like as a kid skipping
Screw
the
this,
lane.
I levitate.
Cheater.
Give me a boots roll.
Magic.
Give me a boots roll.
With or without advantage?
Just give me a boots roll.
That's a 1.
Okay, well that's great. 1 is your key, right? So it's something your character could do, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you buff it yourself and you slide on the force of magic. Now, if you would spend a star to do that, it would just be like, oh yeah, that just happened.
Okay.
But that was a good object lesson that I really enjoyed.
Estrella, kind of looks over her shoulder, flips him off, is like, screw you, fuckers.
That was certainly rude.
Are you opening the door?
Yeah.
As you open the door, because you're still not touching the ground because you have floated there, you're looking into a hexagonal room because this side, you're on like the 45-degree angle or the 35-degree angle. That would be whatever. I don't know what the hex math is. 37.5. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I do know what the hex math is.
They say you're enough of a nerd to get it. Come on.
I was about to say there's a bunch of nerds that are like, you know this answer. It's 37.5 degrees on the interior angle. But yeah, so like you seem to see and it's a pretty large space.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah, so pretty fancy looking, but otherwise it looks empty.
Hey, Susan, got a spare torch?
Yeah, sure. I'll produce a torch and pass it.
Estrella makes sure it's lit before she continues further.
Fair. Light a torch. Produce a torch, light it, and then hand it over gingerly.
Okay, so are you still floating?
Yes.
Okay, so you're floating into the room. Yeah. I mean, give me a books roll, I guess.
Okay. Would lore wise help here?
No.
Okay. That is a 2.
Yeah. I mean, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. It just looks like, there's some weird shadows from the torch, but it is a hexagonal room. It's not kind of
pretty chill here. Come on in. Careful where you step. Lord knows what shat in here.
the floor looks solid.
Okay.
If there's, for a certain level.
Gently lower myself down.
You gently lower yourself down and you feel good, hard terra firma. It is the same kind of intricate stonework that was in the hallway. Or I mean in the landing, but you don't see any you don't see any creases or lines or holes or anything.
Cool. Looks relatively safe.
Colonel,
set up your little bridge and come on over, or just
Billy?
pop.
Yeah.
The Colonel's gonna set up that little plank bridge just in case.
Okay.
And go over. Better safe than sorry.
I like the old man energy of being like, it's okay.
It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? Like you just put it there and you can go across perfectly fine. We'll have a soup.
When you take the plank, you take the plank out of the holder, put it down on the ground, and as you do that, the floor snaps back into place.
Oh,
okay.
Well, I mean, we probably could have done that right away, I guess.
Before the Colonel steps on the arrow, he's gonna just softly kind of tap his toe on the arrow just to make sure it's not gonna flip open just from the weight.
Right. Yeah, you're good. You have no problem. You seem to walk across it without any. You're on the stairs, Billy.
Oh, I'm gonna enter the room as well.
You also. What is Estrella doing as they enter the room?
She is waiting for them to not take their sweet ass time and taking a look around and being the fangirl she is, just going, ooh, pretty.
You have a torch.
I do.
And Billy, you have a torch. The colonel, does the colonel have a torch?
No, because he has both sword and shield out.
Sword on board.
Yeah,
So as you are, as Billy walks into the room, you hear a grinding noise, and the wall where the door was like slides down.
Yay.
Have you ever been the Haunted Mansion? You're in just like a hexagonal room with there's no doors.
No doors, windows, or locks, and secrets inside it only locks. Oh.
Yeah, like the whole wall just goes like, and it just like falls, like, like as if two little pieces that were holding that wall in place just completely fell down. And then there is a huge rush of wind, and your torches go out.
The colonel kind of looks around, and goes, "Well, that does not bode well."
I am taking darkness for an encounter.
And this is where I spend a star and say, "Let there be light."
Well, I mean, you do night magic, so creating light is kind of on the difficult. Do you want to try to banish this darkness?
More enough so that I can actually see what's in front of me.
Okay. So you can spend
less banishing darkness completely, and more just
being able to see in the dark.
What?
Being able to see in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your night magic, do you have night vision?
Yeah, but if you spend it, give yourself the vision of a raven. So you're spending a point. When you do that, Billy and the colonel can't see anything, but you see that the walls are like chunking. They're like almost like a lock, like a tumbler. You can see the walls, and you see that there is a shape. There's a shape that looks like it's moving around the room that is colder than the rest of everything around it. So like Billy's standing there, and like Billy's breath, you can see like Billy has like kind of almost a little bit of warmth, infravision radiance to him, and as he breathes hot out, it's just like there's like a colder space, an empty space, a shadow within the shadows.
Got it. Why, hello there, Spooky Cold Spot. How are you today? The most chipper Night Witch you'll ever meet.
Is crazy friendly with every horror in the land.
Give me a books roll.
Sure.
While this is going on, I'm just going to have the colonel take a kind of a defensive stance.
That is a 4.
I would like to know if
you're D6, right? You're a Vanguard. Okay, so it's not a crown. It's just a 4. So it doesn't seem it ignores anything that you're saying. Like you don't think it even.
I'm curious if in my travels I've seen something like this before.
Define scene.
Does Estrella,
if I've ever been in the presence of.
Does Estrella explain what they have seen?
Well, they did literally did just say, "Well, hello there, strange cold spot in the room. How are you?"
But is it anything more than that? Like, are you?
It's definitely a little bit darker than the rest of the darkness.
Give me a books roll with advantage, my traveled friend.
1 and a 7.
A 1 and a 7. I'll give you the 1 because it is your key. And you've been all around this great big world, and you know that you definitely encountered other incorporeal undead things that were I literally just looked away and then I came back, Michael, and you
The sword,
got a
yeah.
sword. I was like in my own head. I was in the room, and then I like opened
We
my
roll
eyes.
hard here, Chris. Just so you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
That's great.
at this
Immersive.
point, I'm with
Uh,
the West Coasters. I'm switching teams.
There you go.
Yeah.
The
Fortunately, my Giants hat is in the other room.
you. Now I'm completely lost the track. My brain's got to back up so I can get back on this train. So you have encountered incorporeal undead before that are generally colder than the realm, but you've never heard of one that's invisible.
Okay.
But you definitely would say that is a thing that's possible.
That's a great way to make my fail a success. So yeah, guys, I've seen stuff like this. I don't know what this one's called. I've never seen something like this one, but something similar.
The colonel kind of looks back at the group, goes, "Is this something I should stab?"
Well, it's rude to me, so maybe go for it.
I'm always into stabbing.
All right, just one issue. Where is it?
The darkness looks like they don't want us to stab.
It's about at your 3 o'clock, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 3 o'clock.
All right. The colonel's going to kind of move forward slowly, and just every couple, like half foot, just take a probing stab, just until it gets something solid.
Yeah. So you're going to spend a heart.
Okay.
And then give me a bones roll. Normally you would be at disadvantage here, but you are well armed, so that would give you advantage. So advantage and disadvantage cancel, so it's just a straight up blades roll.
Okay.
No, I said bones, I meant blades.
I was about to say, make it a bones day.
Blades roll. Oh, I got a 3.
That is a miss. So which is great. So you're stabbing through the darkness. You know, you're kind of going. And as you go, you slide by, and Estrella, you see like the sword like just misses the piece, and so it's like hand comes up and just like grabs hold of the colonel's the rough, and you take 3 hearts of damage.
Oh. Okay.
You feel this invisible, you feel that you don't feel like, you feel like a full, like a person's like meaty hand, but it's cold, and it's burning on your chest, burning cold.
Oh, it burns. Little help here.
Okay, I guess it's magic missile at the darkness time.
You literally get an opportunity to shoot.
Cast magic missile at the darkness. Yes.
What are you shooting at?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me a blades roll.
Okay. That is a 5.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Yeah.
Roll effect for me. And you have night magic, so you're shooting it with night magic. So give me that effect roll for me with advantage.
Oh, even better. I got a 4 and a 5.
4 and a 5. So it's a 5.
Spooky.
A bolt of magic escapes. You shoot the creature in the darkness, and it recoils from the colonel and flies to the other side of the room. You definitely believe that you have heard it.
Who's the bitch now?
I got a question. When that magic missile materialized, did it kind of create a light, just at least briefly, for us to see the contents of the room?
Yes, sure. When the bolt the bolt struck, there was a shining light, and you could see the shape of this form in front of you. It looked almost like an armored guard, like with a broad shoulders and like a big chest and a helmet. And you could see you were standing like in the middle of the room, and then it let go of you and it pulled away.
All right. When the light happens, the colonel's going to just pray and just like lunges forward with a kind of a wild swing. I'm hoping that'll work with my luck. Hoping to hit.
Yeah, so if you're gonna do like a wild swing, what you can do is you can take disadvantage on the roll to gain advantage on the you could take disadvantage on the roll to gain advantage on the damage, or vice versa, like a more precise piece. But in this case, you are going to be disadvantaged because it's dark. So if you're just kind of going at it, you could take the advantage and that'll cancel it out. So just give me a straight up blades roll.
Okay.
For your, big wild swings. You're going wide against.
All right. I got a 5 on this.
That's a hit. Give me a roll for effect.
All right. I got a, let's see, what was it? Got a 6 on it.
Great. You feel when your sword hits the invisible creature, and you feel it cut all the way through it. I am going to spend a darkness.
Take that, foul creature.
To basically to keep this monster going, because it's one of the things that I can do with darkness. But that's okay. Now you're down to 4 darkness instead of 5 darkness.
That works.
You need back towards bright. You still have 4 treasure. What is Billy doing?
I've really been watching what these guys are doing because it's been impressive. I kind of want to heal the general, given that he did just get a little beat up, if possible.
So, one of the things that we have focused in mazes is that there isn't any real healing, right? So the act of healing has an action called aid, and when you're doing that, it's because you've gone to 0 hit points. You could help someone do that.
Okay.
But the expectation is we want you to focus on acting and not reacting.
Gaming. Yeah. I like that.
All right, cool. It's a hard thing for a lot of people, especially people that have come to the tabletop space through video games, especially MMOs, where it's just such a core, I'm the support guy. My job is to heal. And it's like, well, no.
I just go around dropping health kits everywhere.
Yeah, here we go.
Just go on, guys.
Magic
have
mushroom.
Fun. Have fun storming the castle.
So,
all right. Well,
give me a books roll, since you've just been watching this.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 9.
Yeah, you don't notice anything. You're like dark.
This is blowing my mind.
So I had spent a darkness. So for my turn, the creature pulls itself off the ground. When it goes down, the torches spring back to life. So I don't know if you were still holding them or if you had dropped them, but regardless, the room lights again when the creature went down, and as it starts to stand up, you can kind of see that it's pulling the light out of the room. So for a moment, it's not, you can still see and everything here, but
that's kind of hot.
It's kind of the opposite. It's very cold. You feel it pulling all of the.
Oh yeah, but Night Witch, come on now.
You're into it.
It causes a panic attack, so my body temperature raises a lot.
That's why it does it, right? Like it needs to scare you to generate heat so that it can pull the heat itself.
Man, that's how I survived the dead of winter. Fear.
That's legit.
Is there anything worth inspecting in this room? Are there bookshelves, desks, anything like that? Or is it just a barren room with like a cot?
So there's not even a cot, right? It's just this hexagonal room. It's just this hexagonal room. But when the lights came up, you did see a glint near the creature on the ground, but it was very close to where the creature was. So everything else just looked like stone, and then there was like kind of a shininess.
See, guys, this is why we got to reform elven prisons. They don't even give them a bed.
The colonel's going to deliver a couple of swift kicks to the down body. And take this and that.
So you're going to run over and attack it again?
Is it dead? Actually, before I do it, do we know if it's dead or not?
You saw it go down.
Okay.
And then the lights came up, and then it started to rise.
Oh.
It's starting to suck the light out of the room again.
Oh.
I mean, if you want to run over and kick it, I mean, that's perfectly legit.
Honestly, instead of kicking it, the colonel's going to go back, carefully go there and deliver a couple of well-placed swings, if that's possible.
Yes. Give me a blades roll with advantage.
Oh, I got a 5 and a 6.
So that's great, because now you see this is a critical hit. So that means you're automatically, you have the option. You can either just automatically do the maximum amount of damage, or you can pre-explode.
You know what? I like the sound of pre-exploding.
Pre-explode. Happened
a lot in high school.
It's okay. It happens to every guy
at a certain age, yeah.
Yeah.
So
men of a certain age wake up in the middle of the night with pre-explosions.
So give me a roll for damage, and then immediately roll again.
Okay.
Don't mind me. I'm just keeping the tone of this elevated throughout the whole time.
I got a 8, and then I got a 7.
Okay, well, when you roll the 8, that explodes as well.
Oh.
So you've already done 15 damage.
And I got a 6.
So you've done 21 damage, which strangely is a lot more than what this creature has at start. So you saunter over. The colonel saunters over and just decapitates the invisible creature, just like
taps him with the sword, and he turns to dust.
You hear it fall and hit the ground, and it sounds like.
The colonel's going to look back to the party and goes, you think it's dead?
It better be. I'm not entirely sure what that pulpy mass is you left behind, but
its head left the room and there's no doors. I don't know how you accomplish that.
The colonel's going to deliver a couple of extra kicks just in case.
Just a little color. Yeah. Yes. It
One
does
gets
not appear to be coming up. The torches.
Was that cathartic? Did that make you feel better?
Yes, it did make me feel like a big man.
So you feel safe that this thing that was sucking all that power and heat and light out of the torches has left this plane.
All right, so I'm fast and cunning, so I'm going to give the creature an ocular pat down, and then I'm going to run over and inspect it. Ocular pat down. I'm just assessing top to bottom, full risk assessment.
An ocular
assessing with your eyes.
Correct. It's what the TSA does at every airport, and that's why I get inspected every time.
In certain Patty's pub.
So then you're running over. Okay, so you there's still nothing to see because it's invisible.
Right. So
But you
the
can
ocular pat
actually
down with
see on the
purpose.
ground where it is because it's invisible, but you can tell that it's like a disturbance above the ground. It's
All right,
like
so allow me
light
to amend.
refraction.
Allow me
It's
to
like the
amend.
Predator.
I'll start with an ocular pat down and realize how useless that actually is, and I'll just go over and do a physical pat down.
A fistical
And see if
pat
I can-
down.
Yeah,
With your
So
fist.
as you're going around,
straight up with my fist. Just I'm looking
It
for
feels
very
like-
delicate materials.
it feels like armor over a goopy body. It doesn't have like legs, but as you're doing that, your hand settles on an invisible key.
Oh.
So it's like a big chunky jailer's key, but it's completely invisible.
Well, I'm gonna take it.
So that's going to give the party a treasure.
Yay.
You'll have 5 treasure. Always here for Final Fantasy win tune.
We actually played that right after my dear friends got married. Like that was like the very first thing after, like right when the reception
Nice.
started.
Like it.
I'm here.
So you're standing in this room, and there are no windows or doors.
Sorceress, would you be able to do something to see if there's any place for this key to go?
You want me to find the hole?
I want you to find an invisible hole for our invisible key. I can't. I'm clearly not good at it. My father never taught me right.
Right, we'll fix that.
It's near the top,
Wait.
right?
Close, but not quite.
Damn.
There's a little knob above it. You might have to play with the knob a little bit.
Gotcha.
And darkness for innuendo.
Fair.
I'm not actually doing that, but it's fine.
Oh yeah.
Could have.
Well, I figure this is also a good time to look for places that might be a little bit darker than others for various little shadows, cracks, etc.
There you go.
Sense where the night is. Wow.
Give me a books roll with advantage.
Get back here. Dice tried to run away. A 5 and a 6.
Yeah, so you're like, no. It's weird. You actually feel that maybe there's some runic sorcery at hand that is blocking your second sight.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time. Yeah, there's something blocking me being able to find anything like this. Then again, I can understand how people might have a hard time seeing it. You know, I can understand why it might be a challenge for some folks.
He's gonna give us a darkness for innuendo. Like if we keep this up, we're gonna get screwed.
I got one, but I'm not saying it.
Look,
Thank you.
I can't do anything but innuendo. We're screwed.
All right. Do we hear the gentle rushing?
I
of
can only
water?
do butt innuendo. That's all I can do. It's just butt innuendo.
I want to hear a gentle rush of water for a little man in a boat to show up.
Have you tried fiddling with the button, the knobs?
Are there any curtains, and what do they look like? What do they resemble? Any protein?
Do
of
they
any kind?
match? Do they match the non-existent drapes? All right, we apologize to
We
all
drifted.
the people at
Sorry.
home for that.
And
No,
especially
no,
Ryan.
no. This is not carpet. These are clearly waxed floors.
Oh,
They
sculpture.
are. This is clearly this prison is clearly of Brazilian make. The floors are the floors and the walls are very similar looking. You know, there are 6 walls, and they do radiate like a weird anti-magic, making it difficult to see them.
The colonel's gonna actually go over to one of the walls with his sword, just go like falling wall, tapping it a little bit every couple like half foot, just to see if there's like maybe anything like sounds like essentially finding a stud.
I was just about to say, like again.
If anybody's
old
gonna
man
find a
energy.
stud, it's
I'm
gonna be
right
Mike.
here
Looking
in
for
the
the
middle of
stud
the room,
finder.
guys. I'm right here in the middle of the room. You don't need to be tapping against the walls.
You're tapping, tap, 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 tap. If you think of the hexagon with a flat, with one side facing north, when you get to the second wall, you hear it the second wall sounds different than the other walls.
Mhm.
All the other walls sound I don't know how to. Let me see if I can.
It sounds hollow.
Yeah.
It sounds hollow.
Is that the word you were looking for?
I was trying to replicate a hollow sound with like a
Yeah.
with solid
sounds
shit.
hollow. It's just easier.
I'm trying to make
Theater
a
of the
hollow sound with
mind.
really solid stuff.
Oh, look, you found the right spot on the wall.
Theater of the mind.
Billy,
have-
we need a consultation here.
Oh, yeah. I'll go over. I'll check out if the wall seems familiar. If I've experienced hollow walls, and I imagine
Check for
I've been in
holes.
rooms-
Check for
Yeah, I
holes,
imagine
nooks
I've
and
been in
crannies.
room- yeah, with those tricky little like, you push a stone and it goes in a little bit, but then you push another one in and it has to go further. I'm sure I've done at least like 10 of those in my life. I'm a vagabond, so
Give me a boots roll with advantage. Your cunningness.
thank you.
Looking for the
A
right
1 and a
spot
4.
up on the wall. Yeah. Let's
A
just
what?
leave it there.
A 1 and a 4.
You find a hole in the room, in the wall, that you can't see. But like if it's like an illusion, like if you're putting your hand across it, it just like falls in.
Oh, is there a little worm there saying good thing you didn't go that way? That would take you right to the castle.
No.
Okay.
Is that a Mario reference?
No, it's a
That is a
labyrinth
labyrinth
Labyrinth.
reference.
Labyrinth
Labyrinth.
reference.
I'm so glad nobody can see Ryan because he's there absolutely agreeing with everything I'm saying and nobody knows it. So it's good. But yeah, I'll explore the hole. You made me say it, Chris.
It's there's an invisible hole in the wall.
But is it
Is there
moist?
like a G
Should I
inscribed
should
on
I
the
j-
spot in the wall?
There is
I
not.
don't know.
There is not.
Should
This
I
wall
jam
is
my-
not. This wall is
I'm
not a
gonna ram-
metaphor. This wall is not a metaphor. This wall is a wall.
I'm
Sometimes
gonna
the wall's just a
ask
wall.
permission.
Sometimes a wall is just a wall that has
Alright.
an invisible
I'm gonna-
hole in it.
I'm gonna lean
It
up
might
against
be
the
moist.
wall and I'm gonna whisper sweet nothings and
The
get
wall is very
consent,
dry.
and then I'm gonna
Thank
jam my
you.
key into it.
Yes, the
I'm gonna
invisible.
jam
Thank you for
the
asking
key
for
right into the
consent
wall.
first.
invisible
I
hole.
appreciate that. Is it properly lubricated so it's not going to squeak too much?
Oh no, it's
Oh, of course.
it's
Spit on it.
definitely not. This is definitely an old key, and this is an old wall. It is the noise is as you hear it turn, it takes like a bunch of force, but as it turns, you hear gears rolling, and I think that we'll use this to take a few minutes break to maybe get everyone's head out of the toilet.
No, mine just lives there. I'm sorry.
It's not the size of the hammer, it's the nail that drives it, baby.
As the small child comes up directly to your left.
Oh.
All right. Yep.
On that note,
On that note, we'll be back in
My children have heard worse.
it is 4:20. Come back in about 5 minutes.
Yes.
Sounds good.
RTD is nodding at us. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna get another drink. I'll be right back. And this has been great so far. So
Yeah.
And we're
need
right
more
on
water.
time. There's a few more ups and downs and
A few more
Yeah.
holes to explore.
more holes to explore.
Chris is gonna go rewrite half of this so that way we can't be filthy.
This was not there. It's just a hexagon room, guys.
You should have known better. Hexagons are filth.
Or
Hey everybody, we're back. It occurred to us when we were off camera that we had not started off as we normally do with doing a quick talk about lines and veils and safety mechanics. So the reality is everybody here is pretty comfortable, so we didn't set up any lines and veils for this kind of game. We didn't think we were going to get into anything strange, but we're always open. If there's some material that you don't want to do, you can always just exit out and we will just walk away from it. And as always, we suggest everyone having a strong open door policy. If somebody wants to get up and, leave, don't, just let them go. Everything's good. That being said, you are currently trapped. You are currently in a ancient elvish prison where you have put a key into a lock and turned it, and you have heard as you turned it, the wall slid up a little bit. And you heard, oh my lord. Obi-Wan,
is that what we heard? Oh my lord.
Obi-Wan jumped off my bookcase.
That's canon, guys. That's what we heard.
The wall goes up like about like half a foot, and you hear some gears and chains inside the wall. You hear a bunch of moving.
All right.
Billy, you
might need a little bit more of a kickstart.
Yeah, I turned the key. That's right.
Oh, before that happens, the colonel's gonna hold up his hand. Just one moment. I need to take a knee. I'm just gonna, if I could at least regenerate one or two more. What do you call it? Hearts. Is that possible here?
Do you want to refill your hearts and stars?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're going to take a moment and you're going to refill your hearts and stars. It's a perfect thing to do. So in order to do that, you need to take a condition. Would you like to take stressed, tired, or hurt?
Let's take. You know what?
I'll explain what they do.
Okay.
So when you're stressed, you're disadvantaged on books rolls, and you can't. You don't get the bonus of the key. So if you roll a 1, it doesn't work.
Okay.
If you're tired, you're disadvantaged on boots and bones rolls. If you're hurt, you're disadvantaged on blades rolls.
You know what? Let's take stress, meaning for a fact that he almost died by falling to a pit of spikes, and then they had to deal with that whole thing with the darkness.
Absolutely.
He swung at nothing.
This is I would be in the colonel's place. I would currently be quite anxious and stressed that the floor is going to fall out and that nothing is going to kill me. And I mean that literally.
Yeah. Oh, and he's going to switch out from sword and board to club and axe. Hatchet.
Oh wait, shit, I have an axe laying around here somewhere.
Full up, full on extra offensive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I like it.
I don't own many weapons, but I do own an axe.
I own a lightsaber, so that's that's all I own weapon wise. I guess I own a plastic sword.
I mean, I own this off-brand ET, which is it's hefty, so like I could hurl it at somebody, do some damage.
You definitely could kill.
I have a boffer wooden spoon with a spoon that's about the size of my head, but it's in the other room.
Boffer spoon? I like a boffer.
Yeah.
All right. The Billy, you've turned it, and the walls come up a little bit, and you've heard all this noise.
Is there enough room for us to see through it or pass through it? How high is it? Is it based on the
laying on the ground? Do you think if you were laying on the ground, you could definitely see through the space?
Okay. And turning the key doesn't make it go up anymore or anything?
Do you turn it again?
Yeah, I'll turn it again, see if it can go
Turn it again, it goes up a little higher.
All right, I'll keep turning it till it goes all the way up.
Right, it's like a winch, so you're turning the key, and as you're turning the key, the wall.
I'm a vagabond. I've seen these before, of course.
And so much like the landing when you came down the stairs, this wall opens into a small room. This room's bigger. It's about 10 foot by 10 foot, except one of the walls is this slanted wall of the hexagon room you're coming from. And on the far side, you can see against the wall, there is a portcullis. And as you are pulling up the door, the portcullis is raising.
So they both rise at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. And is the all right. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Billy, as
What's
an
up?
experiment, let go of that key for a moment.
All right, I let go of the key.
When you let go of the key, it nothing happens for a second, and then it rapidly starts to unwind, and the wall comes down.
I was worried about that. See, we wouldn't have known it would have happened if you wouldn't have said anything, and it would have life would have been better.
But we would have been squished.
So yeah, I guess I'll wind it up again, clearly. And I don't know which one of you two wants to go through. I know that the Colonel doesn't have a torch. The two of us do.
I will go ahead and step forward through the doorway.
When are you doing that? At what point? How high do you want him to get the wall up?
High enough that I can actually get through.
Are you walking through without crouching? I think is what he's asking. Like, are you just gonna?
I might duck a little bit.
So when it's about halfway up.
Yeah.
So you're doing like a quarter crouch.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make Chris do more math than he has to.
There's no, dude. This is mazes. It's a polymorph game. There's no math.
I know, that's the joke.
I've already saved myself from all that. The math is only in the imaginary physics of architecture in the dungeon. So you're gonna run. Are you gonna run or are you gonna walk?
Walk.
All right. So you're gonna walk. You walk under the piece.
Mm-hmm.
And as you do that, you walk into this room, and on the far side of the wall, there is a portcullis about halfway up that you notice that the top of the portcullis, normally a portcullis is coming down. This is like coming up from the floor.
Yep.
But it's spikes. The designers of this prison apparently really were into spikes.
Wow, that's really spiky.
Very
spikes were in 1,000 years ago. It was the height of fashion.
And give me
architecture.
Give me a bones roll as you've been twisting this key all this time.
That's a 4.
You drop it for a moment.
I am fast and cunning. I don't know if that helps. It's not.
But for fast, I'll let you try to grab it before it falls too far.
I'll grab it. Nope. That's a 2.
It starts to unspool.
Okay. What is the shape of the key? I didn't ask that earlier. Is it like one of those old school skeleton keys? Does it have a handle on the back?
Yes,
of the
it's
haft?
like a jail. It's technically a jailer's key. So it has a big circle on the end because you could like attach it to a belt hoop or hang it, and then like a long or a shaft, and then like 2 teeth on the end. It's not particularly ornate. It's just it's large actually.
All I needed was the handle. I would like to use one of our treasures to produce a rope to put through the handle of the key to then keep it locked in a position while holding the rope, which would allow me to pass under when I am ready to.
Yeah.
If you understand,
so you get a rope and some pythons and spin it so that you're hanging, you're suspending it to the doors there. Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. I'm suspending it from the key so that way when it's turned, I can hold pressure on the bottom half so that way the key stays engaged. It can't turn one way or the other because all the weight's pulling on the bottom of it.
Oh, okay.
And then I string that under the door because this is clearly like right by the door. And then I can hold on to it.
How far are you going to crank it?
Well, that is up to the Colonel because I would like to do this while the Colonel might be heading through because I have a feeling it's not going to work out great.
And what I'm gonna also have the Colonel. He's going to crank it as much as he can.
Oh,
yeah.
So you want to go as high as you can with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys crank it all the way up, and you have the rope.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you know, not a big deal. You can walk. You can walk right under it. The only problem is the portcullis on the other side is all the way at the ceiling.
I've got a plan for that.
Well,
So
the
now you're
so
holding,
all three of
as
us-
long as you're holding this rope, that you're pretty confident that
Yep.
the door's going to stay there.
the Colonel's gonna look over at Billy and goes, "Well, if you don't mind, I will take my leave here, sir."
Please carry on.
The Colonel's gonna walk through and join Astera, right? Estrella in the next room.
And then I
yeah.
will pass, and I'll pass under holding the rope.
Yep.
And then I will slowly let go of the rope because it should allow tension to pull that key back and start bringing that wall down in the portcullis.
Yeah, as you're doing it, as you're letting it go a little bit, the portcullis is starting to come down. And to come
Okay.
down.
So I'll bring it down a little bit, but I'm going to hold it because I would like to confer with my fellow adventurers and make sure that this is a good idea. Do you guys want me to drop this?
Well, it's not like we could go back anyway with that room sealed up.
More so, do you want to explore this room before I let whatever's on the other side of that portcullis through? I'm holding on to it. Everything seems okay. I don't have a great, you know, it's a Rube Goldberg machine for sure, but it's working.
Well,
So since I went in first, did I see anything particularly interesting, useful, whatever?
Give me a books roll. And I'd also like to know what you are doing with the orb in the box.
I haven't opened anything with the orb in the box or anything like that just yet.
So you've just
that
been
said,
carrying the box around.
Yeah.
Okay.
That said, would lore wise or cunning provide me any advantage here?
You know what? Lore wise would.
Okay. That is a 2 and a 3.
You hear a as you're spending some time focused, as you're walking around, you're looking around and things, you hear a particular noise, which is a thing that you are pretty familiar with because it's the sound that you hear when you're levitating. So it's the sound of levitation.
Interesting.
It's very hard to explain to a person that has never levitated before. But
I look up.
it's coming from down. It's coming from the other side of the portcullis.
Okay. But there's nothing particularly in this room here.
Not in this room in particular. You
nothing
hear
in particular in here.
and every time the portcullis gets higher, the sound gets lesser.
Okay.
Could the Colonel actually take over from Billy holding the rope and stuff like that? Because I have a feeling Billy's much more observant than the Colonel in this type of situation. And the Colonel has bare arms, muscular bare arms.
Literal bare arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pass it over to you. And then so my knowledge of portcullises is a bit rusty, pun intended. But they tend to be great forms. So like,
I'm only laughing at how bad that joke is. I mean, on like the Dungeons and Dragons dad joke scale, that is you're scraping the bottom of the barrel there, bro.
Chris, it's known as a critical failure, and I'd appreciate to remember that. So is that the type of portcullis this is, where there's gaps in it, so one would be able to start scaling it but maybe not get over the top of it?
Imagine it's like almost like it's almost like a white picket fence, if the white picket fence was made out of iron, and so that the tops of the piece were like knives. They're like fist sized. There's a space in between each one that's about fist sized.
Oh, all right. So if the
it's
general
definitely a
would
portcullis. It's not a solid piece of metal.
okay, so if the general would be so kind as to lower it to the point where I could look over the top of it, but not pass through. It's just like I'm the neighbor from Home Improvement.
Wilson.
Thank you. I forgot the
Please
name.
don't fist the portcullis.
I'm not going to. I'm trying to just look over it.
Okay.
I'm trying to be.
At this, the colonel is actually going to kind of wrap that rope around his club, just so he has more control over that way. It's safe and
Okay.
everything. So he's going to just lower it a bit.
Club turning.
That good? That good enough?
Leverage is good.
Yeah, I imagine I can see over it now.
Yeah,
I don't know what I see though.
you look down a long hallway. In fact, if your knowledge of architecture makes any sense, you're basically, this hallway would be running parallel to the stairs, and it is going deeper and further away than the stairs are. And the far end of it.
So can Estrella produce a small pork sausage that I could hurl down the hallway to determine how far it is?
A small pork sausage. You could.
I think that
you
could
could
be
go.
arranged.
You could spend a treasure to do that. That's not really night magic. Let me make some.
I'm not going to do
I
that.
mean, it
I am
could
not
be
going to.
It's a night sausage. It's a night sausage.
blood sausage.
You guys want to throw a night sausage and listen for the splat?
No.
Why not?
I'm going to
No,
leave this on that one.
No.
Let that one die. That's fine. Estrella, do you think we should lower it and peek in? Go through? I don't see anything that's threatening other than a dark hallway.
One moment.
Okay.
I am
I
sure
believe
that
Estrella is having a moment.
Estrella probably has some sort of just small pebble or something in like spell components that she could toss through.
Yeah, you absolutely have something on
Yeah.
it. You can just
Toss it through to kind of listen for the echo.
listen for it. It sounds as you would expect it to.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. Doesn't sound like it's hitting anything on the way aside from the floor, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, just it sounds like you're throwing a rock down a stone hallway. You can see at least 50 feet down the hallway before it's completely dark.
You know,
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna steal a trick. I think I'm gonna steal a trick from our buddy in the foyer over there and see if I can absorb the darkness as we go.
Oh. Are you spending a star to do that?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I think it's great.
There you go. I absorb the darkness.
You are the darkness now.
Yes, I am.
Please
don't attack me.
There's like a gloom. There's like there's like an actual like lightning. Like it's almost
physical malaise.
No, it's like turning up the brightness and the contrast on your TV. Like everything is like everything in the room for all of you gets brighter and whiter, right? Like it's like
Crazy saturated.
Yeah, the colors the colors in the room get like tight, and where they are they're really bright and saturated, but like all the shadows kind of go away. Like even like the you can't, like, you can still see the flame, but it's not like casting shadows in that way. And you can hear this tinning, whirring sound that Estrella, you recognize as the sound of levitation. But as you're looking down the hallway, you can see even further, and you see a large stone orb just floating, and there is like tracery of it's made of stone, and it looks like it's intricately carved, and there's light inside of it, but with all of this weird coloring, it looks, it looks like washed out purple, the light that's inside of it.
How similar does it look to the orb we have in our possession?
The orb you have in your possession is a crystal ball, like a perfect glass orb.
Right. Does it look at least like stylistically similar, maybe?
Well, in spherical nature, I'd imagine so.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean. Like,
I know.
This looks like the floating orb looks like the same make as all of the stonework in the prison.
Okay.
But nothing else in the prison has floated.
Okay.
As far as we know,
because of the weird coloring that's going on, like the purple light that's like shining around it, and it's like coming down the hallway. A terror droid in a New Hope style.
Okay.
Oh. But it fits in the whole aesthetic of the dungeon.
It's not a robot.
Not a robot.
Damn.
It's magically created. It's a ball golem.
It's a ball golem. Yes, that's you would accept that as a.
There isn't a second one, is there?
As you say that, you see another one coming at the end of the hallway, and now it's floating.
Well,
oh man, there's two balls floating at us.
We went from holes to balls.
I love you, Chris. You literally set yourself up for this.
Yeah.
General, take them down with your
I mean, at least these are balls. The other part, I mean,
we made filthy with it being perfectly normal.
It was a hex. It was a hexagon room. There wasn't anything. It was a lot.
We appreciate you leaning into it, Chris.
So
at no point did I say the architect was Georgia O'Keeffe. I invited none of this.
Chris, you invited all of it. You know this.
There is a third ball, by the way.
Oh, they're exceptional.
There are 3 floating orbs of stone.
The tri-ball.
Yes. Those were rare in these parts. Not uncommon, though. General, you want to beat them with your shaft?
Hey!
His half shaft, like the bow staff.
The colonel's going to look over and goes, should I lower this now, or should we go forward? What's going on?
Yeah, you can look. Yeah.
Well, I've been absorbing a lot of darkness. Can I just envelop them in darkness?
Are you gonna let that spell go?
Crush the balls with the darkness. I don't know.
I mean, you can attack them with the darkness.
Crush the
Let's
balls.
do it.
Give me a blades roll with advantage.
Apply some pressure to those balls.
Bury them in a merkin of
this will end that other spell.
Okay, hold on one second. So I had this set up in my photos app. There it goes, and then it switched over to the next image, which in fact was sparklyballs.jpg for a Christmas thing I was doing for another game. So appropriate. So I got a 2 and a 5.
A 2 and a 5. A 5 is a blades result. So
yes.
Give me an effect roll.
Six.
Oh. Give me another effect roll.
3.
Give me
You're gonna
become third effect roll.
Swollen and gorged and
4.
sweaty.
So for all of you, it's like there's like a flash of darkness. And you feel it getting close to you. You feel the pressure. And as the darkness hits the the stone orbs. There's like a crack of purple thunder, and you see the lightning that's around it at all. And there's pebbles fall and fry, and all of them kind of wobble a bit. And then as the world goes back to looking normal, the orbs are still moving forward. You definitely did damage them, though.
Okay, not a complete ball buster, but sure.
Colonel, you are holding the portcullis at half point.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Actually, I got an idea. The colonel's gonna look over to the party. I have a cunning plan. So cunning.
I like that you're the only member of the party that's not cunning.
That's not cunning, right? I was gonna point that out.
Anyway,
can you describe it quickly?
Yes,
we
yes.
have balls rushing at us right now.
Let them rush us. If we can lead them into this room and we go back, we might be able to crush said balls with the room.
Spike them with the old portcullis, huh?
Exactly.
With the portcullis or with the wall? The portcullis is rising up. The walls.
We would have to lower the portcullis to get it to the point where it could catch them. But if we do it that way and we miss, we have a second option with the wall.
Exactly.
But we gotta catch them all.
Right.
Gotta crush them all.
Crush these balls.
So, what say you, comrades?
Yeah, I'm in. Roll that shit down so that way the portcullis is all the way at the bottom.
I'll look this up in Eldritch Dictionary later.
So please,
Under balls.
Please explain to me the steps that you are all taking. What are you all doing in this space?
I'm gonna retreat into the previous
into the hexagon room.
The hex room, yep.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cheer on the general.
What is Estrella doing?
I am teasing the balls forward into the hex room.
So many other words you could have chosen.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you chose that one.
Are you verbally assaulting them?
Just screaming at the balls.
Yes, we'll
Okay.
go with
You
that.
ain't nothing.
So you're gonna talk some junk.
Basically,
taunt the balls.
luring, taunting.
You're
the
gonna
whole
taunt
bit.
them,
Uh-huh.
and then you're gonna run into the other room.
Effectively. Trying to, I'm leading them on.
Hey, what do you and Nicki Minaj's cousin have in common? Giant balls.
All right, and then as they're doing this, Colonel, what are you doing?
As soon as they get within range, the colonel's going to attempt to skewer said balls on the portcullis, but if it misses, he's going to pull back and you try to use the room, kind of escape to the hexagon room and let the room kind of just crush said balls
and drop it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's doing two separate action.
Billy,
but
give
hedging
me
bets.
a boots roll.
Oh, that's a 10.
Oh, well, that's good because you only have 4 darkness right now. So it is with 4 darkness, we are in what's called torchlit. And a 10 is your crown because you're a sentinel, you're a D10. So you can get into the other room, but what's the penalty that you're paying to get into the other room?
I'll twist my ankle.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna be for the next couple of turns, you're taking disadvantage on boots rolls.
Okay, so I lose.
You didn't get really hurt. You just kind of tweaked your ankle as you run in.
Yeah.
Give me a books roll to taunt the balls, and a boots roll to keep yourself going.
Mobile.
Estrella.
Would cunning work for that books roll?
Yeah, I mean, since you are
Clever tongue lashing?
you're trying
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
The fact that
All
we're
right.
not neglecting the balls is nice. We're
1 and a 2.
Okay. I'm gonna say you say something in, because of your knowledge of Volthoom, you say something that you read that you're not sure what it is, but it's definitely dirty. And the ball like looks at you, like it doesn't have any eyes, but it like spins like
And now the boots roll.
It's like dun 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 dun.
I like that it's blurred out. It looks like it's foul. It's like you
Censored.
brought a real testicle to the party.
Yeah.
All
right, so now to that boots roll.
Then give me a books roll.
Is it books or boots?
I'm sorry, boots roll. The lead orb is sped up after you.
I'm just picturing
That's a
stone
2.
gondoliers.
Okay, so you stumble as you are going through the door. Take a heart. You lose a heart.
That hurt.
Colonel.
Mhm.
The
Also
ball,
the face.
the orb is above the portcullis. Make a blades roll. Normally you would be advantaged, but this is a weapon that is not part of your arsenal.
Yeah.
Using a portcullis to attack a floating orb of stone.
You said boots roll, right?
Blades
Or
roll.
blades. Okay. I got a 4 on that.
That's a hit. Remember, this is you know what? I'm not going to count this as a violent action. This is more of a cunning action. So I'm not going to make you lose a heart. But roll effect for me.
I got 8.
Okay. You crush the portcullis is just like, and it just like jams and it like cuts through and the thing just shatters and there's a huge blast of electricity in the room. And the other 2 are still coming. The portcullis itself has been like melted from the impact. It's no longer doing anything.
Okay. Well, the colonel's gonna kind of he's gonna attempt to taunt the balls into the room where the walls could crush them.
Are you trying to repeat the thing that Estrella said? Or are you just hurling insults in the common tongue?
I think he's just gonna be hurling insults in the common tongue.
Okay, you do that. It doesn't have any effect. But give me a blades roll as the orb approaches the wall.
I got a 5 on that.
All right, give me an effect roll.
Are these last 2 in parallel or are they staggered?
You're staggered.
Okay.
I got a 4.
All right. You so you step into the hex room and drop the rope, allowing the wall to fall onto the lead orb, and it crushes to the ground. And the hex, the wall slings in it, and like bangs into it, and it's like stuck there. And the orb is shaking. It's not completely out of the fight, but it's holding the door. It's holding the door, or holding the wall up, a foot and a half, because that's about the size of the orb.
The colonel's gonna look back to the party and goes, "Comrades, we need to figure a way to bust these balls."
It's if you're at home right now and you're wondering if this is what role playing is like, the answer is yes.
Every
That's
time.
pretty much always.
Every time.
This is literally what game night is.
Especially if I'm
usually
here,
all
like,
about.
Mm-hmm.
Even on the
likely-
times that I try not to.
The clever
Look.
trap and the interesting character may be remembered.
I am regularly in the running for the dirtiest mouth in San Francisco over on the Dirty Talk game show. This is kind of what I do.
It's funny because I get invited to these things and I'm like, I make the conscious effort of like, I'm not going to go filthy because it's so easy. And then something happens and I go filthy and I never look back. It's just unrepentant.
Sometimes you just gotta lean into it.
So I don't have
the lead.
I don't have any weapons yet.
You don't have what?
Any weapons yet, as far as I remember.
No, every character has all of the weapons that they would be expected to have.
Oh, okay.
You just haven't whipped one out on screen yet.
You haven't taken one out yet.
All right. Hey. See, this
Whip
is
it out.
it again. Jesus, I tried to reform for the last part of this, and you guys are bringing me back. All right, I'm gonna whip my sword out in front of the party.
Where are you? Who is the closest to the wall?
I think the Colonel will probably be the one since he's
Yeah.
still holding the rope thing that's tied around his club.
The second orb like speeds up and comes crashing through the bottom of the door, breaking part of the door, which frees the first one, and it also goes. So they're both headed right at you. So how do you want to avoid this? Do you want to stand your ground? Do you want to take it on your shield? You still have your shield? No, you got rid of your shield.
No.
Actually, you want to try to dodge out of the way. Like all of those things are going to influence what you can do in the next turn, but they're going to determine what kind of a roll you make.
Actually, if possible, could the Colonel kind of pull back on the rope that's wrapped around his club, lift up the walls a little bit, and then just let it slam back down, trapping the balls in the room?
The rope.
Would he be able to pull it up and we pass through the door and trap them in the
Yeah.
room, or are they barreling straight for him? And
They're barreling straight for you, but you could do that if you just try to stand your ground.
You know what?
okay.
I'm gonna try that.
All right. So
Is
give me two.
there quick question, is there any mechanic specifically in this game where other folks in the party could potentially
Aid
like
someone?
like a collaborative kind of role, something like that?
You can always do something to aid someone to give them advantage on a roll by making a different kind of roll.
Okay.
Like, so if you were to say like, I'm going to help doing this,
Mm-hmm.
you would make a roll of that type, and then that person would gain advantage on the roll that they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
In this
What if
case,
you
though,
use-
the balls are coming, and what you've yelled out, and this is what I've heard, is you've yelled out, like Colonel, trap them in this room as you're diving for the door as they're coming right at the Colonel.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I would say Billy and Estrella are both diving through the door as the balls are coming through it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they pop through, we're
Balls
diving
go through, and then you're trying to
we dive
jump
through.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would shout sideways real quick to Estrella as we're passing through, hey, maybe you should spend a star and cast a shield in front of him so that way they deflect and then he can bolt straight through. I want to split these balls.
I will happily block that. Yes. I have 1 star left, so yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so you're going to raise a night shield,
Mhm.
ossified bone, creates a shield in front of the and since you're spending a star, the Colonel's not going to have to make a save. They're going to deflect into the piece. You guys both need to make boots rolls. Estrella, I need you to make a boots roll at disadvantage because you were also casting spells and doing a bunch of other stuff.
I got a
also
2 and a
have a
6.
twisted ankle.
A 2 and a 6. So they are both fails.
Yeah.
So you cast your magic and then turn you're caught in the moment, and so you're still standing in the room. Billy.
I failed as well.
Billy falls. Billy falls at the door. The two orbs come flying and bang into this bone shield, and they're like pressing up against it. The shield's right in front of the colonel. The colonel's holding this rope. There's a shield that's guarding him from these two orbs that are like breaking. You can see the cracks doing. What is the colonel do?
Well, so just want to make this clear. First, basically the walls in the room right now are they trapping the balls right now?
No. There is a shield in front of you that is holding the two orbs.
Oh, okay.
From
Plenty of
smacking you in the
breathing room
face.
for those balls.
Oh,
Plenty. It's a pair of Fruit of the Looms, man. There's just tons of breathing room.
okay. Also, does this shield is it just one way, or on our side could something pass through the shield?
It is definitely you can't pass through it, but it's made of bone and it's breaking. Like, so if you don't do something right away, these things are going to break through and try to smash you in the face.
I was wondering if I could use a treasure right now.
Yes.
And have it's something that the colonel probably prepared.
Remember, you also have stars.
Okay. Well, I was thinking
spend a star for something that you tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you if it's a star or treasure.
To have some sort of like explosive, and have the colonel kind of roll it past the shield towards where the balls
where
are.
they're stuck.
Yeah.
Wanted bullet curbs.
I want to blow those balls up.
Because you're an old soldier, I think that the idea that you have like an alchemical grenade, you have a stoppered potion. If you spend one of your stars, that makes sense to me.
Okay. I'm thinking it's like one of those French, like those black like bombs like you see in cartoons.
Yes, an old school grenado.
Yeah, grenado.
Yes. Yeah. So like you as you're doing all this, you're like holding the piece, and then you reach into like that secret compartment in your jacket that holds the grenado.
Fire in the hole.
Give me since you're spending a star, give me an effect roll.
All right. I got a 7.
Give me another effect roll.
I got a 7.
It rolls around the bone shield and it explodes, and the two orbs just shatter into a million pieces of sand. So does the bone fabric, so does the rope. Like it's just like vaporized in front of you. The wall just like starts to fall towards Billy. But the orbs have been destroyed. Billy, what do you do? You're like laying on the ground.
Wall coming towards me. I scramble. And I scramble towards the colonel. To make sure that I'm...
the colonel. All right, give me a boots roll with advantage because you're lucky.
All right.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, usually. Well, not this time. 7 and a 10.
Take three damage.
Oh, I was gonna say,
right.
can I aid him, or is that too late?
Yeah, it's already too late. You were
okay.
You were occupado blowing up balls, man.
Blowing balls up.
All right, I'm down to 7 hearts.
Yeah, those balls exploded all over the place.
Hey, I got some in my mouth that was open.
The colonel's gonna be kind of after that explosion.
Grown ups,
I suppose, and kind of goes. Looks like we burst those balls.
Oh. Get a darkness.
The rubble left behind is all crackling with an unearthly light.
I think we should take
all
a
of
peek
the
at
orbs
and
have
see
been
if
destroyed.
I think we should take a picture of the murderous orb, or take a look at the murderous orb and see if it's doing anything. You know, since we've been in this building and haven't looked at it yet.
The orb in the box?
Yeah.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? It's Gwyneth Paltrow's baby.
Who is holding the box and who is opening the box?
I'm holding the box.
And who is opening the box?
I'll walk over and open it. Why not?
So if
Here's
I was,
my box.
Let me just peel this apart.
God
Take a peek
damn it.
inside. I want to look at the ball inside of your box.
Are you ready? For the first time, that one was my fault.
No,
That
it
one
wasn't.
was my fault.
No, it really wasn't.
That's completely my fault.
You queued that one right up.
Here's the box, and it,
Nice
you know, it
secret
opens
lair.
like this. So,
Wait, is that a secret lair inside of a secret lair? You're going meta.
hey man, this is a
We're
Christmas
in a
gift.
secret lair.
I got a box of rocks. So, from Brian Neff. So you're gonna open it. If you were to open it like this, like if I am Estrella, is this how you're opening it?
Yes.
No.
I would imagine so, because any bad stuff should just come right at me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever,
So
whatever
you open
snarling
it-
beast that box turns out to be.
You open it, and the white milky orb that you saw before is now like completely white, and there's like a pulsing red light, and it goes from the center all the way to the edge, and it's like looking right at you. You can actually hear it. It's
Like moving in there. Yeah.
there's like a smaller orb inside the orb, and it's like banging against when you're looking at it. It's like looking right at you.
And it's coming
Is the
straight
orb
for me.
alright?
All right, so I'm gonna invite.
Orbception.
How's the orb? Is it all right? Is it tender?
I'm
It's
gonna invite
excited.
the colonel over to look at it just to see if that dot traces him or if it's strictly coming at me.
When you face it towards the colonel, it's just like, oh, hey, you.
So it just like whatever's in front of it, it's like a toddler, right? Like, hey, why is this? Why is this? Why is this? All right. All right, guys. Yeah, the orb's doing something. It doesn't really make sense.
It's an eye.
I mean,
It
could
looks
be
like
a
an eye.
sprite. It could be a sprite inside of it. You want to smash it?
Haven't we done enough ball busting today already?
We all hesitated though. I know. I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it on the screen. Each of you were like, I kind of want to smash it. And Chris was like, please don't smash it.
The colonel's gonna kind of look over at where the decimated balls were and goes, "What if it's a baby version of one of those?"
Oh God, we killed his parents. We got to take it to the baby ball orphanage.
Could we not? Because if
Times
we
have been
if we
tough.
go down that line, we definitely will break the Twitch
Hey.
code of conduct, and we like Ryan.
I'm stopping it right. Yeah, we're good. That's fine. I mean, I guess we go down the hallway, right, guys?
Yeah.
That seems to be.
Are
a good
you
idea.
so you're closing the lid on the?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it gave us nothing.
You reopen
Or it gave
you
it something
reopen
that
the
we
wall.
don't want to see.
It's now my
You
age.
reopen the wall. The portcullis has been completely melted.
So we can just
We
pass
just
through
walk
it.
on
You can
through.
just pass right through it, and there's just a hallway, the long hallway. It's 70, 80 feet long.
All right, now I want to spin a treasure for a sausage. Not really.
No.
Okay.
Susan, I will throw you down this hallway.
Only my father calls me Susan.
You'll be the sausage.
You said only your friends call you Billy.
Correct. Only my father calls me Susan. It's a family name.
Then call me Daddy. Jesus.
Look, we're only halfway through this thing. Only if you deserve punishment.
The colonel's gonna stay
lying.
out of this. He knows better.
Oh, settle
Yeah.
down.
Shall
then.
we?
Colonel's a third wheel in this ride.
Woo!
He already busted some balls already today, so he's good.
Yeah,
You come to the end of the hallway. You come to the end of the hallway. You come to the end of the hallway, and it opens into a long room to your left. Along the northern wall are two identical doors. There's one in about the middle of the wall, and then the next one is like 10 feet away. They look identical. They're both slightly glowing. They both have like a similar purplish light that the orbs had from that electric look. And the only difference is the one on the left. Well,
Is the one on the left more interesting?
The one on the left and the one on the right, their door handles are in opposite sides. The knob is on the left, is on the right hand side on the left door, and it's on the left hand side on the right door. So the one on the left opens out to the left, and the one on the right opens out to the right.
You want to try and do two at once just to see what's inside?
Oh, that never seems like a good idea, but yeah, I definitely want to do that. I'll take the right door.
I'll take the left door.
Colonel, you want to sit in the middle and just protect our asses?
The colonel's just gonna hold up his club and hatchet. Let's go.
Okay then.
So you're opening both doors
Yes.
at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me a boots roll with advantage. It seems pretty easy to do this, but it also seems like something you could do wrong.
Oh yeah.
3 and a 6.
One of them is good.
5 and a 6. So I got one.
Yep. I got one.
All right. Yes, you open them at the same time. They
Very
both open,
normally.
and when you open the doors, you look inside and you see that inside each of the rooms, they're both 10 foot by 10 foot rooms, and there are doors that are identical to these doors on all of the walls in those rooms. So when you open up the door, there's 3 more doors in each room, and they all look identical to these doors. There's one door at each wall.
Son of a bitch. I wanted to undermine like Kramer too and be like, Jerry, it's starter cars out there.
What's going on here, Kramer?
It's starter cars, Jerry. They're chanting.
It's orbs, Jerry.
Orbs everywhere.
Orbs all the way down.
The colonel's
You
gonna
ponder the
kinda-
orb, and then the orb ponders you, Jerry.
The colonel's gonna kind of like peer into both of them and goes, well, that was kind of disappointing.
Like thoroughly.
Door number 1 is door numbers 2, 3, and 4.
And behind door number 2 is
Door numbers 2, 3, and 4.
5, 6, 7.
So,
Colonel, what
which
do you
one,
think? What should
comrades?
we do? Clearly, we were too stupid to open both doors at the same time. Ooh, what if we close a door?
Which door would you like to close?
I'll close mine.
okay.
The door closes with a satisfying clink.
All right.
And yeah.
That's it. Son of a bitch.
Nothing changes.
You're still
All right,
looking
well-
at that room. That room hasn't changed its look. You don't know what happened in the other room because you closed the door.
what if we close both doors and open one?
So you're closing the
Mhm.
left door as well,
Yeah, and then open that up again.
and then opening it again.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's just the same room. You're looking at.
Well, worth a try.
This is my favorite
which,
thing.
Which side?
When I was like a freshman or a sophomore in high school, I remember playing in a game and we had a door and the door was laughing at the thief that kept failing to pick the lock. And for years we talked about the door laughing, and it's like and the whole point is that there's things that happen when you're playing these old school kind of dungeon crawls that make no sense unless you were there. And it's like then we closed both doors and then we opened the door, but the room was the same, and that was just a mind fuck. We didn't know what was going on. It was like, you opened the door
in the previous room. If we shut a door,
then we opened a door and nothing happened. Nothing happened at all.
It's bullshit.
Anyway, you open the door and nothing happened.
Well, that's
Colonel,
to
which
my
side
planning.
Colonel, which side do you think looks better, left or right? 3 doors or 3 doors? Which one do you want?
You know what? In circumstances like this, I always let. He reaches in his coat and pulls out a large coin.
Oh,
Let Lady Luck decide.
I like it.
Heads left, tails right.
go
Okay,
for
then.
it.
Tails
Which side is that?
right.
To the
I
right.
was gonna say, I immediately didn't remember what he said.
You open the right door.
Yep, I'll open it up.
Okay. Yep, it looks the same. The room looks the same as before.
I was gonna.
All right.
I was hoping my lucky edge kind of would have
Oh,
helped.
you're lucky. I thought
Yeah,
the vagabond was lucky. You're lucky.
I'm lucky.
No, you gave me that one for free, and I wasn't going to correct my opponent.
You son of a bitch.
You should know me better, Chris.
Son of a bitch.
I was,
Hey.
it's I like when you said it, I was
Uh,
like, I'm lucky, but my character isn't. But I'll allow
You
it.
so I'm gonna give you this then, Colonel. You flip it to let luck decide, and you land it on your hand, and then it when you pull it up, it falls.
The Colonel looks down the coin and sees which end it landed on.
Heads.
Oh, well,
Oh.
heads it is then. Left.
So you open
Door's
the
already
left
open.
door.
That door was already open, I thought.
No, we closed both
You
the doors.
we closed them all.
Oh, we did close. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So yeah, I'll go.
so you open the door. It looks the same. The room looks the same.
So should we
enter the room and
try those doors again here? These doors?
let's go into the room and shut the door behind us. Nothing ever has happened bad when we did that so far.
So Susan, you're going through that door.
Oh, I'm totally going through that door.
As you walk through the door, nothing happens.
You didn't surprise me with that one.
The Colonel follows.
You're fine.
Yeah. Go on in.
All right, you go in. You're fine. There's
All
a
right.
door to your
All right,
left.
do we-
There's a door right in front of you, and there is a door to your right.
Do you have a 3-headed coin?
There's 3 of us and there's 3 doors.
Oh, do we do the old trick again? Yeah. All right, I'm taking right again.
I'll take left this time.
I'll go down the middle.
Okay. You all open the door at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The door to the left doesn't open.
Colonel,
The door on the right wall opens, and there is a short passage that leads to another door.
Guys, you're not gonna believe this. Found another
And
door.
the door in the center, when you open it, Volthoom fangirl leads into a large room that's probably 15 feet deep by 25 feet long, and in the center of the room there is a large sepulcher, and behind it a detailed and rich tapestry. There is a weird purple light that emanates seemingly from nowhere. The whole room is like lit up in this garish purple color.
Guys, I think I found something.
I found a door. Don't discredit what I mean, Colonel just bumped into the door like a doingus.
Mine's not working.
That's because you don't know how to open doors.
He's gonna kind of try to open the door. Let me in. Let me in.
Like when you're that door,
Eric
like the
on
door
drain that
itself,
shit.
the door itself doesn't it doesn't move at all. Like the door handle doesn't turn. It's as if the door the colonel's looking at is like not a real door.
It's a real fake door.
I don't think this one's real.
I'm interested in the room, I will admit. While the door at the end of my hallway has me intrigued, the fact that we can just enter another room and possibly have an interaction could probably be fun. So I will get behind Estrella and I'll wave my torch inside of that room to get a better look.
Give me a boots roll.
3.
You wave your torch, and the torch goes in, and faster than you can almost see, a blade falls through the doorway and chops the
Tip of the torch, just the tip of the torch.
Just the tip.
Mazel tov.
It falls
I
to the
wanted to see
ground.
what it felt like.
Mazel tov. It just caught up
That
to
one
me.
just clicked.
It just caught up to me about the Bristol.
Are we sure this is a prison?
You're able,
you sure it's not-
you're able to pull your hand back before your hand gets like, so like you push the torch into the room and it's just like whoosh.
All right, guys, I think this one's booby trapped.
You think?
Say.
Now, out of curiosity, do I still have any stump left of my torch?
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna push that in just a little bit to right about where the cut happened.
It happens again.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I didn't know if it was a single trip or not.
Wait, is the thing?
Yeah,
that
I wasn't actually trying to be filthy with that one, just for everybody to know.
This is not me being filthy either. Does the blade was it another blade or did the blade reset?
You don't know.
Oh,
Okay, that was Fortnite tricks right there. I know that stuff. Take time while it's resetting to run through. Yeah, it's tricky. Estrella, you used up all your stars, right?
I did. I'm gonna need to take a moment if I'm gonna try something again.
Yeah,
I have-
You can take a condition to
Yeah.
get. Your
I have 1 star, and I
Two.
believe we still have 4 treasures.
You still have 4
I
treasures.
have 1 star as well left.
What if the colonel goes through with his shield? If he uses a shield using the part that doesn't cover his physical arm, he puts it in sideways, does it cut through the shield? If the colonel would be so kind as to try,
All right.
I'd be curious to know if it can bash through a shield or not.
The colonel's going to do as requested. It's kind of like feeding it into kind of a wood chipper, kind of.
There you go.
So
There you
give
go.
me
You're not wrong.
Bones roll. I'm feeding my shield into a wood chipper.
All right. Well, let's see. I got a 5.
Yeah, you're holding it. When you put it in, the blade hits it, and it shakes. But it doesn't cut through the shield.
Okay.
It like knocks it out of the way though.
Okay.
All right, so if Colonel, if you feel brave enough, what if you slung that shield across your back, hunched over, and walked through the doorway? It would hit you at least once, and I'd imagine you would take some form of a damage, but I don't imagine it being too much, and you might be able to get through to the other side.
I like that idea, but instead of hunching over, he's gonna kind of just hold it kind of above the shield above him, kind of like you would like a newspaper get caught in the rain or something.
I was going for the less TBI type thing of it smashing on your skull.
Oh,
I was
okay.
hoping
You know what?
across the back you would absorb more.
Oh,
of it.
okay. You know what? That
Mhm.
I'll do that instead then.
I'm cunning. You got to remember, you're not.
True.
You
I
got
am
it,
lucky.
dude.
I am lucky.
Give me a bones roll.
Give me a what?
Give me a bones roll.
Make it a bones day.
I got a 6.
That's good. It bangs into it. It hurts as you're going through because it shakes you. So you take a heart, but then you get to the other side, and you don't get cut in half by the crazy blade.
All right, I made it.
Yep. And so everyone else is standing in the other room. And as you go through into that, above the sepulcher, there is this really gorgeous tapestry, and of a stately, lithe, elven warrior with a crown of antlers and gold, and it's all like super finely stitched. And in one hand he's holding a flaming skull, and in the other hand he's holding a spear that's like face down into like another wizard's heart. I mean, the whole thing is impressive.
So beautiful.
And
what you think we get for that?
you hear
$7.
Colonel, you're standing there, and as you hear the top of the sepulcher like opens, and sitting up and looking at you is a desiccated face wearing that helmet, but it's like a skeleton, and it has and now as you can see that the warrior is wearing an eye patch in the tapestry, and the warrior is wearing the eye patch. Estrella, you hear from the box is like shaking in your hand.
If possible,
Look
as soon as the figure kind of sits upright, it's gonna have the colonel kind of give out a little yip and just like smash his club into his face.
Yeah, no, I love it. right on.
Okay, quick question. Before that happens, does Estrella's official licensed Volthune waifu pillow have an eye patch?
It does. Volthune definitely wore an eye patch.
Okay.
I get a darkness because you have an encounter. Very important.
Colonel,
what happens if you startle the colonel?
I have 5.
Colonel, are you able to reach the eye patch?
Well, I'm assuming that I'm swinging the club in the face of the figure.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a blades roll.
Okay. Oh, 7.
That is a hit. Give me a damage roll.
8.
That's you're a D8, so that's an explode. Roll it again.
5.
You just wheel off, and you just like hit this lich like right in the face, and it just
Right
like
in the mush.
It literally knocks it back into the sepulcher. There's like a puff of dust, and
The girl's like, "What the hell was that?"
the crown gets knocked off. You hear Volthum is unhappy.
Volthum should startle the colonel.
Out of curiosity.
Volthum senpai.
Senpai didn't notice you. Senpai noticed the colonel.
Estrella, what are you doing?
I'm on the other side of the door, but I opened the box.
I was gonna say I want to straight open her box.
You open the box, and you hear bink, 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 and the thing inside the orb knocks the orb up in the air and out of the box, and it falls to the ground, and it starts to roll for the door.
Okay.
For
Does
the
that
door
trap
that
activate it?
for the door that the Colonel is already
On
through?
the other side of, yes.
Okay. Colonel, would you be able to pick up the crown and the eye patch just out of curiosity?
Does it look like it's within reach?
Are you asking that question? Is that what you are doing for your turn?
I'm going to ask him that question for my turn because I'm under the impression that since the orb is rolling towards him, if he were to place the crown and the eye patch over the orb, something might happen. And I know that I can't get there fast enough, right? Like the orb is already in motion. I'm clearly in the room. There's a bunch of shit happening. So I just shout across like, hey, I had this idea.
You shout that out. The orb rolls into the doorway. The blade comes out, smashes it. There's a puff of smoke, and the red glistening eye orb inside of it jumps into the air and flies across the room towards Volthum, who catches it from inside the sepulcher. And he puts it in his eye, under his eye patch. And that was a lot of activity. So you can tell me what you're doing in response to that before I start shooting you with eye magic.
Oh shit.
Very, very important. Right this second, how many hearts does everyone have?
I got 7.
I haven't taken my moment yet, so I have 5.
5.
I have 7.
And how many stars? You're at 0.
Didn't you take a moment?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, they didn't get a chance to. We were too eager to open the box.
Do you have any stars left? Do you have one?
I have 1, yep.
Yeah, I have 1 as well.
Okay.
And we still have 4 wealth, I think. Right?
You have 4 treasures, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know about the other thing for a different reason, but
Right, he's gonna try and kill us.
so Volthum has grabbed it and he jammed it into his skull. What do you do?
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You know what? This situation with the experience that the Colonel has, he's just gonna start just honestly just wailing at it. Everything in this dungeon has been attempting to kill them.
Just
So he's
just smash it in the sepulcher like
I would like to roll for initiative to take precedence over the Colonel just going ape shit on the evil thing. I personally would like to run in and give it a hug.
You guys can both roll a boots roll to go before you're fast.
I'm fast, yeah.
You're fast, so you could actually act before him because you're fast.
Okay.
So you're gonna try to run into that room.
Yeah, and apologize for everything as I'm running in and give him a hug. Just like full on, like daddy, boom.
All right, so you run into the room, take 4 damage.
Sweet.
Because of the blade trap.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And give me a boots roll to keep moving forward as you've been knocked by a giant axe, like spinning.
Nope. Yep. I drop straight to the ground and curl up into a ball.
You're like, I'm so sorry, and you run in and you get hit by the trap and you fall to the ground and then the Colonel starts to wail. So give me a bones roll. At disadvantage. I mean, I'm sorry, give me a blades roll at disadvantage, but you'll be advantaged on the effect.
Okay.
If you're just really going to town, like you're just wailing blindly.
Okay, so I'm rolling 1 or 2 dice. That's what I need to know.
2 dice.
2 dice. Okay.
But you need to succeed on both.
All right. I got a 6 and also got an 8.
So you are a D8. We are currently I have 5 darkness. We are in torchlit, so your crown can succeed if you give me something. So you could take a condition, or you can, not take your next turn, or some other negotiated success piece. So then you will succeed.
Can I just further my? I don't know. Am I still stressed from the beginning of the game?
Yep.
Okay. Can I further that stress?
No.
No. Okay. What was the conditions again? Stress and
stressed, tired, hurt, and then there's one called marked, which we haven't talked about. But
you know what? Let's go with tired.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
the colonel's done. Done with this dungeon.
You're just throwing it all in. You're basically disadvantaged on all your rolls that aren't fighting.
Yeah.
You're super good at fighting. So give me an effect roll, but with advantage. So so you can either do 8 damage, or you can roll it twice and take the. No, you can roll twice with advantage, or you can automatically explode. I'm sorry.
Well, I think I got the most optimal roll right now.
Yeah, that's real good. So you're gonna do 8, and then you're gonna roll again, because obviously one of them is going to work and explode.
Roll 2 dice again, right? Or roll 1 dice?
Roll 1 die.
Okay.
But you know what? Just for fun,
it doesn't matter. Oh.
Well, I got 6.
So I'm gonna spend a darkness, because otherwise you would have just completely destroyed him. You're breaking his armor. You are tearing him down. Volthoom is like completely and totally like, you're just like, kill it, and all it's trying to do is protect its eye, right? Estrella, what do you do?
I lunge in and try to protect Senpai.
Are you trying to avoid the trap?
I think at this point Estrella has gone completely batshit, so probably not.
Love it.
Blood rage. Absolute.
So you dive through. Take 4.
Okay.
So you're at 1. You're at 1 heart.
Oh yeah, this is hurt. This is gonna hurt. Yep.
And then you are so you're trying to get in front of the.
Yes.
You try. Are you?
I'm basically trying
or
to.
Are you just getting yourself in between? Like, how are you trying to stop the colonel?
I'm basically trying to get in between the colonel and Volthoom.
I think that's great. So you put yourself in front. What do you do, Colonel?
You know what? Since this is one of his comrades, he's gonna almost swing down, but at the last minute he recognizes it's gonna. What's going on?
So as you're like completely like woken from that, Volthoom's hand comes up and grabs Estrella here, and then just rips your eye out.
Owie.
And puts the eye in your, and it was like.
Hey, Chris has put us up against a one-eyed monster. That's all you, Chris. That's all you.
Damn. I apologize to everyone.
No, you don't.
This is
I'm
my
so
fault.
expecting an angry text. I'm expecting an angry text after this. Like, fuck you, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
No, I gotta give it to you. That was
Yeah.
at least I didn't call him Willie. Or Peter.
My Willie.
It's true. His name is Volthoom, which
Volthoom.
When I
apparently now Estrella has Volthoom's eye.
yes.
Was his wife known as Volvoon? Or Volvin?
You are filled, Estrella is filled with the desire to just blast Susan into death with
I'll try to be in despair.
Give me a.
I welcome death.
Give me a blades roll.
Sure. So it's actually that's not an advantage, correct?
You know what?
Give her
You're a
advantage
night
to kill me.
magician, so it is.
Okay, fine then. That's a 6 and a 4.
That's a critical. Give me an effect roll. But it's
Okay.
automatically exploding. So give me at least one. You're gonna roll twice.
5 and so 7 total.
Uh-oh.
A beam from Estrella's eye shoots down at Susan for how much?
7.
Seven hearts of damage, Billy.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Billy goes to 0. Billy goes to 0. What do you do, Colonel?
Fully deserved.
You know what? Seeing that his comrade has betrayed the party, the only thing that
love
you know
you all
what,
dearly.
can the colonel actually just swing, since he has a club, swing the club in the back of her head to knock her out?
Yeah.
That's what the colonel's going to do.
Fair warning, I have 1 heart left.
Give me a blades roll.
He's going to try to not kill her.
Yeah.
You know what? Can I argue this will be lucky as well? You'll be lucky if he doesn't kill her.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a stun?
Give me. Let's start with the blades roll.
Okay.
Just let me say resistance is futile just once.
I got a 2. I got a 2 on that one.
You swing and you hit, but you don't hit her well, and you weren't trying to take her out, so it actually doesn't knock her down.
Okay.
Resistance is futile, Colonel.
Beep.
How many lights are in this room? Are there 5 lights?
Volthoom, you feel the spirit of Volthoom, and Volthoom is asking you to give yourself to him.
That's quite a commitment.
And to free him from this prison.
Yes, Senpai.
We can live
Let's
together.
take her out for dinner
forever.
first.
All right.
I love you all dearly. As
Tim,
my players.
Tim,
My
give
fellow
me a
players.
roll. Give me a roll on Death's Door.
Me?
No,
No,
Tim.
me.
Oh.
Susan.
Susan.
My mother's name. It's a 9.
9, that's great, dude. You don't die.
Hey.
So you are your hearts and stars are refilled. You stand up. You are, but you have a condition called marked, so you are disadvantaged on further Death's Door rolls. Now that
fine.
death has sensed you.
It's aware of my presence.
Clever
It smelled my
girl.
musk.
Estrella, give me a blades roll against the whoever you want to attack.
Yo, kill me again.
I've played with you enough. Let's go for the Colonel.
Makes sense.
I wanted the colonel to kill you. I was being cunning.
So that is a 5 because wasn't assuming advantage or anything like that.
No, it's advantaged. This is a night magic attack. You're really good at this.
So 5 and a 1, so 1 success.
This is again what you do. So this is again with advantage. Roll effect.
Colonel, it's
4.
been really nice knowing you.
Colonel, you take 4.
All right.
He's still kicking.
The colonel's going to be like, what are you doing? Get a hold of yourself. Get a hold of yourself.
All shall love me in despair.
Ooh, yeah.
Are you trying to grab them?
Grab them, immobilize them, because then I'm free. She didn't touch me.
The colonel's going to kind of pull her, get her in kind of a half Nelson, a full Nelson.
Ooh, a full Nelson, a full
Yeah.
behind the ear.
Give me a bones. Give me a bones roll.
Okay. Would this be at advantage or regular?
No, because you don't have anything. It's really
Okay.
You're a finesse
He's
guy. You're
lucky.
not a brawler.
He's lucky.
He is lucky.
Yeah, but that's not how lucky works.
Okay. Well, I got an
I
8.
don't know.
I got an 8.
Got an 8. So you get your arms around Estrella. And then give me another bones roll.
Yeah. Full Nelson meaning for a fact that way he could point the eyes away from him.
That's
Good
smart.
call.
Yeah.
Good call.
That was
because a
5.
headlock means your crotch is going bye.
Yeah.
So you
Enough wrestling.
You put Estrella in a full Nelson, and then the skeletal form of Volthoom rises behind you and has grabbed hold of you and is trying to pull you away, but it can't get your arms because you're so
arms
like,
already locked in.
right. You're like this, and the skeleton is trying to like tear your arms off.
All right. I have a star.
Yes.
I'm going to spend that star to pull out my sword and jump across the room, spearing in the bad eye, the eye patch eye of Volthoom.
The Volthoom Estrella or Volthoom the skeleton?
Volthoom the skeleton. I am not fooled by liches.
Okay. Yeah. Roll effect for me.
All right. That's a 1. Do I kiss it gingerly?
You get the sword, and it's like you put it in the eye that is not the eye patch, and it just kind of goes right through the skull.
Oh,
So it's just like stuck there.
all right. Well, I've got him disoriented, lads.
Estrella, what are you doing?
Trying to break free, obviously, of the full Nelson.
Give me a bones roll.
Okay. That is a 5.
Yeah. You managed to break it. What do you
somehow get out.
What are you doing, Colonel?
You know what? The Volthoom, since Volthoom has him from the back, we're on like a platform. I remember you said we're like on a platform or something, right?
Yeah, you're on like a raised sepulcher, like a stone coffin.
Okay. Volthoom, the Colonel's going to grab Volthoom's arms or hands that has him grasped and just literally jump back, pulling his full weight to basically. He's going to crush him. I'm guessing.
A reverse.
A reverse.
Yeah, basically, it's a move in wrestling called the coffin drop that a wrestler called Darby does.
Literally on a coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
This is I'm good with this. I'm good with this.
Give me a bones roll.
Kill
7.
us all.
All right. The bones roll was to see if you hurt yourself doing it. Roll effect.
1.
Son of a bitch.
You know what?
We need to stop kissing this lich.
Quick advantage on that.
You like jump up and you like bang this thing down, and it's just a skeleton. It doesn't actually take any damage from that. It reaches up, it pulls the sword out of its eye, and it just stabs you with it for 3 damage.
I was gonna say, wait. I remember saying that I grabbed the arms of Volthoom. I did that move.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he immobilized the arms.
Yeah.
So
he couldn't. How does he?
How does he rip the arms away?
Yeah.
All right. Damn.
Oh, okay.
You would have killed it, but you didn't. So you need to suffer the consequences of rolling a 1.
All right. Well, I gotta. Now I'm at 0 hearts.
Oh.
Oh
That's
no.
good. So you next turn you need to roll on death's door unless someone can aid you.
All right, so I guess it's back to me, and my sword is still stuck in the lich's eye.
No, the sword is stuck in the Colonel.
No. Oh, the sword pulled the. Oh man, son of a
He
bitch.
pulled your sword out of his eye and he stuck it in the kernel.
All right. So I'm gonna withdraw my ankle dagger, as I'm wont to carry, and I'm gonna try to stab it in the bad eye again, because I'm right there.
All right. Due to the fact that we are about to be out of time, let's
You
wrap
just
this up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And what is it that if you could have Estrella, how would you like this to end?
Well, that depends. How well is Volthoom handling himself with fighting these dudes? Because if he's kind of a wimp, the story will just be like, screw this, I'm better than you.
I'm out.
I have a lot
All
of
manner of
darkness
hate.
left. So you feel very confident that he's doing okay, even though he's been he was in a much worse position until these guys rolled ones back to back. So he's looking pretty impressive right this minute.
So I'm going to give the two of you a choice. Thank you so much for leading me to my master. If you like, I can give you the opportunity to serve alongside us.
I just wanted money. The pay was good.
Game.
We can give you money.
The pay was good.
Volthoom lets you know, Estrella, that he has treasure to spare. He can make these wealthy men.
But the pay is really good.
Fine. I'll enter servitude to Volthoon. I got nothing going. I'm a vagabond. I'll just leave in a couple months.
You know what? Life, coin. Yeah, I'll take the money.
All shall love us in despair. Woo!
Yeah, you're gonna go work for this newly awakened Lich Lord, and horrible things ensue. You end the game with 4. You'll get some treasure. You'll probably end up with 6 treasure. Normally we would roll for treasure, which is stuff, but we want to get out of here at the right time. So thanks everybody for playing mazes. This was super fun.
I had no idea that heel turn was happening, not gonna lie.
I never thought that someone was gonna walk into this and being like, hey, you know what? I'm a real Volthoom fangirl. But one of the Volthoom's jam is, being a parasite. And literally that is trying what he wants to do.
Tim, Mike, I love you both dearly for how y'all rolled with that, because I know sometimes when having a player do a heel turn against the rest of the party is kind of obnoxious sometimes. It's not something I normally do.
I was a playtester for Kids on Bikes, which has a player that inherently does a heel turn, so it's very common to me.
Okay.
And it doesn't surprise me anymore. But yeah, definitely, like, if this were high school, I'd have been very angry with you in that moment.
Yeah, no, like,
considering this is a one shot,
the murderous orb wants to live in your skull. So yeah, I mean, there's something really fun. The freedom of a one shot, which Mazes is designed to play this way.
It's the magic of the one shot. Yeah, Mazes is a one shot system.
You know what? I will. How about this? I want to throw a little bit of a happy ending on this. The Colonel's gonna secretly work for Vasoon, but use the money that he gains to start a resistance.
Oh, I love it.
Totally, I love it. Do it.
I'm gonna also
He's gonna Nick Fury him.
I'm gonna use my money to start an orphan ball orphanage.
Because those orphan balls need somewhere to
and
go.
on that note, thank you everybody.
This has been a genuine treat.
I honestly had a lot of fun with all of you. Y'all are fantastic. I mean, I knew Mr. Powell was going to be, bringing his A game immediately, and Tim, like, having just, and immediately like met you. We clearly synced up very well in the sense of humor.
That's why Chris brings me around.
And if we can, if everybody wants to tell people where they can find you, you can find us at Ninth Level Games on all of the socials and at ninth level games. No, it's ninthlevel.com. But you can find us at Ninth Level Games on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere else. And eventually this will be on our YouTube channel if you want to watch it again in the future.
You can literally find me anywhere on the internet at Hedgie Cleric, pretty much any social network, yes, including that one. And for specifically for my TikTok, you'll see a lot of stuff that I do for Exeter by Night. I also am a guest GM for Geek Therapeutics. I may want to try using this system for some of the games moving forward. We'll see how it goes. And y'all are great.
We'll talk some other time about therapeutics,
sure.
because our next game is actually about therapy.
And I got to play that. I got to play that game over the weekend. Well, I didn't.
Girls just got to play it.
Very
My
cool.
kids did, and I got to sit next to them and help the youngest with it, and it's great. So yeah,
that's
Venture
so
Village.
nice.
is
Venture
up your alley.
Village. About a game about social and emotional learning.
That's cool.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
That's exciting.
Well, I'm Michael Powell, and you can find me all over the internet on my socials, which is usually at Mr. Kapow. That's MRKAPAO, or my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because I do a lot of stuff, like my YouTube channel, which is called Fantastic Tales of Venture, and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm on the Nat 20 Productions official channel, playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Edge of Legend. And literally right after this, I'm on Toyzilla Network, where I do Toyzilla Live, and we're going to talk about some new collectibles and toys. And I definitely want to try this game out. And all the reveals.
I'm definitely into the toy review thing. I've been doing absolutely nothing from my basement where I sit. You can find me Squid_Christ at Twitter. I've stopped using Facebook, but I am Timothy Mattis on there. I live in Hell, Norway on there. I live in Pennsylvania in real life. My YouTube channel is starting up again, but I have no information on that. I'm literally just a last minute drop-in, and it's been wonderful. It has been an absolute treat. So I look forward to doing this again for sure.
And
This is a lot of fun.
Back on live action role play for other games that we're doing, as we do a bunch of specials on Ryan's awesome channel. So thank you all for listening and coming and playing. And guys, it was super fun playing with all of you, and hopefully we'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Bye.